Super Crew XLTs. We're even discounting every new Ford Explorer and Ford Edge. Hurry to Robinson Brothers Ford. Example stock 552 F13. Discount includes 5250 dealer discount. Example stock 114 ED4. Discount includes 3500 Robinson Brothers discount. 1000 Ford credit bonus cash requires financing and credit approval through Ford Motor Credit. Ends 4/2/2024.
If you were affected by the recent hailstorms in our area, Hudco Roofing would like to help. For more than 2 decades, Hudco has been a Louisiana company run by Louisiana people using Louisiana products. Do business with someone you know. HudcoRoofing.com.
For high-quality office equipment like copiers and printers, Scott Bailey Enterprises has been outperforming the industry in Baton Rouge since 1969. What's more, they've got inventory in stock and ready to deliver now. Brian, what's that number?
753-COPY, or visit us on the web at svecopy.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, March 18th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 64. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap LSU's baseball series in Starkville against Mississippi State, and we'll talk postseason play for LSU men's and women's basketball. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. It's a brand new week, Monday, March 18, 2024. And I hope you're all having a wunderbare day. We got a hell of a week planned for you. Unfortunately, we've had a few weekends here where we've come in lately, and it's just been an absolute heater. Winds abounding in about 17 different sports. Maybe not going to be the case today, as Yo Tigers fall in their SEC series opener in Duty Noble in Starkville, Mississippi. I'm feeling some type of way about Mississippi State right now. I've always been real cool with them, always been real nice to them. I've always thought Starkville had a lot of kind of kindred spirits. But after basketball and then getting run ruled yesterday, I'm a little hungry. I'm hankering for some revenge. Unfortunately, it's a long way off, as for the second year in a row, the Bulldog baseball program manages to take the series and extend their series lead. But look, there is a ton to get to. A lot of good Pelicans, though. A lot of good Pelicans. Massive Friday night win against the Clips. You love to see it. Pulling away, holding on to a lead late with really impressive and shrewd coaching move from Willie Green. You go ahead and you beat the Blazers. You're 7-3 now in your last 10. You're climbing the Western Conference standings. A lot to love there. Softball wins a game, but drops their first game as well. But, whatever. That's inevitable, right? You're not going to go undefeated. So, look, and then we know now where LSU basketball, the men playing it's opposed to the NIT, the LSU women, we know exactly what their path looks like to trying to defend their national championship. So, a lot to get to today. And if you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045ESPN. You can comment, like, all that good stuff. And we're going to have fun throughout the morning. Then we got weekend winners coming up as well. How was everybody's St. Patty's Day weekend? Everybody had a good time? Feeling good? Juiced up?
I was in the port city, so traveling back actually on St. Patty's Day, but we had a great time, a lot of great family time. Had an extra day. We typically don't have a lot of time when I'm there, but had an extra day, took off Friday, and so it was good. Good family time.
Dude. Alondra, Taylor, how's the weekend?
Yeah, good weekend. I did the baseball game yesterday, so I didn't really do anything for St. Patty's Day except produce a run-rolled baseball game. But
actual St. Patty's Day was Saturday. I know technically the calendar, actual day was yesterday, but in Baton Rouge, Saturday is when St. Patty's Day is.
Actually, St. Patty's Day in Baton Rouge really inconvenienced me this weekend because I live in the neighborhood that it all like goes down.
Yeah.
And I just go about I had other plans that day, so I didn't do the St. Patty's Day activities.
No. I got to stop you right now. You're not old enough to remember the Debbie Downer SNL skit.
I know the Debbie Downer.
Okay, that's exactly what you're doing right now. I need you to get the hell out of here, Alondra. Because you should be...
It inconvenienced me.
You should be thankful that you live on the route. That means you get to step outside and you have access to a bathroom and whatnot.
I was trying to leave to like run errands or whatever.
Run errands? It's that's all we got.
So I had other plans that day.
That's us.
And I was trying to leave my neighborhood, and it took me like 15 minutes to get out of my neighborhood. Good. And then also, somebody circled around 3 times waiting for me to leave my parking spot so that they could take my spot in front of my house.
Good. You deserved it.
I was like, you can kiss my ass.
I was thinking about parking on the median this weekend, and it's interesting.
A lot of people did.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's one of those deals where it's all about timing. If you park on the median too early, then you're potentially in trouble, right?
Yeah.
But close to parade time, you're probably going to be fine. Because also, once one person does it, then everybody does it, and then you're good. There's protection in numbers, like the ancient humans trying to survive as the dinosaurs are trying to hunt them down and eat them. What about you, Taylor? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. You know, me, Haldane, and Alondra all did a baseball game this weekend. One of us did the only win. I mean, I don't know if it's a good luck charm. People are talking. No, in all seriousness, though, we booked our cabin for Yellowstone on Saturday, so we're excited about that. It's getting closer and closer.
Okay, congratulations on booking your cabin to Yellowstone. Nobody, the youngest in the crew, don't have a single St. Patrick's Day story. Alondra complains about traffic, and Taylor informs us that on the biggest parade day that Baton Rouge has, he booked his cabin.
I partied on Saturday, but it wasn't St. Patty's.
Thank you.
I'm not a parade guy, T-Bob. Just standing around watching other people have fun on a float doesn't do it for me.
You have fun on the ground. You dance. You drink. You're amongst friends and people, and there's something wonderful about getting out there and just having fun with people. I thought it was awesome, man. Weather held up. Had that rare get drunk twice in a day thing that you don't really do since college, which is really rough because you like go to the parade, caught a quick nap, then had a birthday party to go to later that night. So it was a great weekend all in all for me. Even found a kilt by the end of the day. Which
you didn't start the day with that?
No. I found my way into that as the day progressed, and I gotta say, I guess the only other time I've worn something akin to that would be like Red Dress Run years ago, and you forget it's just so wonderfully breezy. It really is nice. If it's a little warm, a little humid outside, far superior to that of pants. I wish it was a little more acceptable for us to wear garments in which. They have like a dress or a skirt type of feel, but whatever.
Did you know like the appropriate way to wear a kilt is nothing underneath it?
Yes.
Did you practice that this weekend?
No. Look, I was not about to go full bore on my first
you were just saying
kilt
super
experience.
Breezy, and I was like, we got to check here.
All right, let's get into baseball then, because I would say that. The dude, an appropriately named stadium, if you are an LSU fan, because what you were witness to this weekend was duty, okay? Pure duty. Nothing noble about it. As LSU, Jake, you're a soccer guy, right?
Yes.
In aggregate, outscored 33-18 over the weekend. Losers on Friday, 10-4 with Hunter Hines putting the dagger in you late. Winners on Saturday, 9-8 in a maddening affair in which you watched a lead slowly dwindle away, but thankfully managed to hold on for a dub. And the ultimate embarrassment on Sunday as Mississippi State run rules you to take the series 15-5. And again, this is all on the heels of just losing to them in basketball as well in the SEC tournament. It is a disaster of a weekend, and I think this is what I think. I think we have coexisting truths at play here. One, that it was a disaster in the weekend, right? all the insecurities that we kind of knew about. Could this team bat? How consistent were they? All those insecurities were reinforced, and we picked up a lot of new insecurities along the way. I think the other truth is it is early on, and this team will have opportunity to get better, right? So I certainly don't think this team is probably as bad as it looked this weekend. I also think Mississippi State's a bit better. We'll get into that than we thought. But also, I don't think this team is nearly as good as I thought they were coming in to the weekend. So we'll dive into the games in a moment and everything, but those are kind of my overarching thoughts as we sit here today.
The most surprising thing for me was pitching and defense, right? Because we had questions about the lineup and where it was going to settle and if they were going to be able to step up and go, win 2 of 3 at least in Starkville. But for me, the surprising thing was you gave up 10, 8, and 9. And you also, what'd you have, 6 or 7 errors on the weekend as well, right? So that to me, T, that was the most surprising thing because your staff looked like it was one of the best. And it certainly has still the talent to be one of the best in the country. But, Holman gives up 10 hits. Like, we haven't seen him do that. He hadn't given up a run to that point coming into the season. Gage Jump pitched well. Like, the ball was moving well for him, but still didn't have his typical day. And then Thatcher Hurd, story of when he gets in trouble, he gives up the long ball. And so, to me, that's the one thing that was surprising was the fact that you weren't out there, and if you lost the game, T, it was 4-3, or maybe it was 5-3 or something like that. It's the fact that you gave up that many runs because you had pitched so well this season. I'm bullpen as well.
I know, and that would go in the new insecurity bucket that I referenced there because I'm with you. We had seen, and I know the level of competition is not. It's definitely not what you saw at Mississippi State.
Right.
But we got to remember too, what was the Mississippi State scouting report? They were getting it done with pitching, right? Like, they weren't hitting it well.
Yeah.
Outside of Dakota Jordan, who we spent a lot of time on Dakota Jordan on Friday, and well, you saw why we spent a lot of time on Dakota Jordan on Friday, because he was fantastic. But really, not even Hunter Hines had that good of a season to that point. It was Marshawn and Jordan were the only ones that were thought to have a pulse. Now, again, Jordan was called maybe the most important player in the SEC, given that you really wouldn't know what State's record would have been without him. But yeah, so it's not just that, like, in terms of how I feel about this staff and why I'm a bit concerned, it's not just that it's your first taste of SEC play. Like, I knew you were going to get punched more. We talked to Coach Johnson about that on Thursday. You weren't going to look as dominant as you had. But to look hapless, and to look hapless against a team that has not hit it well up to this point, that becomes deeply concerning. Also, I got a little bit of a problem with our guy Brian Haydad because we had him on Friday, and my man played big time possum. I mean, because I'm like, well, look, Mississippi State, they've won 10 of the last 11.
Yeah.
Seems like in that stretch, they've really figured a lot of things out. Dakota Jordan's beast of the ball, and he immediately was like, well, you look at the level of competition. They played an awful schedule. They've already lost 5 games. Like, just acting like this State team still really sucks. Got me all feeling good and fat and cocky. Their Friday night ace is out. Something else we didn't discuss. You didn't get to Siri. You kind of got to him putting up 3, but you didn't get to him maybe to the extent you thought you would. And then you let a freshman come in and Stevens just shut you down for the rest of Friday night. But yeah, Haydad basically Lou Holtzed me on Friday. Talking about how bad they were after I tried to be like, statistically on paper, LSU and Mississippi State are kind of right next to each other in like every category. And he was like, no, it's all just kind of trumped up for a bad schedule. Well, maybe not. And that is the other side of this coin. This State team is probably, I think they're better than we thought they were. Now, how good they are, that still remains to be seen.
Seems like Mississippi State fans are good at saying, "Oh no, we're not that good."
We're
not that good.
It was Rivers' technique the whole weekend until then the run rule comes in, and then the crap
here it comes.
starts.
It's a good technique. Certainly is, and it certainly has worked for them. So
Coward's technique.
You lost to this team last year, and I hate comparing, but it is a series that you dropped last year. Now you got to see how you're able to go out there and respond, because I do feel like certainly on Friday and Saturday your starting pitchers are going to be better, right? Gage Jump had the 3 walks, and we hadn't seen him really do that. Again, I thought the ball was actually moving well for him. He just had 3 walks. And then, for Holman, got 10 hits. And how many were singles? Wasn't at one point where 10 of the hits, I think, 1 home run, 9 singles?
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, those are things that are outlier kind of stats. And so, like, on Friday and Saturday, that's where you have hope for LSU baseball. Now, Sunday and Thatcher continuing to give up the long ball, that's really concerning because it was the same thing that got him in trouble last year. And when he's on, he can be dominant. We saw that in the run in Omaha.
Yeah.
We saw it in the postseason in general from him, and we know what he can be. So starting pitching is going to have to be the thing that gets LSU wherever they end up going this year, because in the lineup there's some deficiencies, and I know we'll talk about some of those things. But with the bullpen and with the starting staff, that's what made you probably feel the best about this LSU team, T. And then when you give up that many runs and you don't play defense behind them either, that's where you have some worry.
33 runs. You gave up 10 hits in each game, and you only struck out 20. It's a disaster of a weekend from a mound against a Mississippi State team that, again, was not supposed to be swinging the bat well. They were pitching great. So, again, LSU struggles at the plate. I understand a bit more because, again, I mean, the Bulldogs entered this game with the 6th best strikeout-to-walk ratio in the entire country.
Yeah.
But man, I did not see that coming from the Tigers. And it's so funny, but for the first time this season, you really kind of, well, there's 2 memes that pop into my head. Dexter looking at the poster on his wall from Dexter's Laboratory, or Wolverine laying in bed looking at the picture frame. And on both the poster and picture, there's Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz. Because, I mean, you really, you missed your big dogs. You got Tommy White, but he just has no protection around him right now.
You know who I was missing over the weekend? Gavin Dugas.
Yep. I mean,
like, that's just the guy.
Somebody's going to actually get on base.
Yeah.
To start things off.
And was just taken for granted by a lot of people.
Yep.
And that I love that you said that because that's exactly why I missed him. Just getting on base.
Just get on base.
Just getting on base in front of the guys that you just talked about, right?
The complete lack. I mean, that's another glaring insecurity. That would be one of the ones that we knew but was reinforced this week. Just a lack of a guy who can consistently get on base at the top of the order. So, what do you think here in this Overreaction Monday? YouTube.com/1045ESPN. Get in the chat to tell you what made you most angry, what are you most concerned about, is it fixable? And then, if you want to throw in some silver linings as well, we can. But
you got a chance to bounce back with who's coming into town, but you also got a team that's coming into town. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And we'll get to the other SEC results around the league as well. So keep it locked. Hey, hit the like button, y'all. Okay, let's get to Hundo for today. And we'll see you on the other side. More OTB coming up.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. The website's a great resource. Start to explore your journey, find your next vehicle, be it new, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get warranty coverage, or maybe just need a rent. And that's why I always talked about the service center, right? Is that all makes or models are welcome. Doesn't have to be from All-Star, doesn't have to be a Toyota. You get in an accident, you bring your insurance claim into All-Star, and look, you get a free professional estimate, but there's rental cars right there on site if it's a big multi-day fix. If it's a same-day thing, they have a shuttle service that'll drop you off and pick you back up. Or you can just chill out and eat some of the free popcorn while you wait. Mention OTB, get $100 towards your deductible. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
How many bags of popcorn do you go through when you're waiting?
I just love popcorn, dude. It's a really good, salty popcorn, too.
Just another luxury over there at All-Star Toyota. And check them out online. Everything is available, buying new, leasing, and renting. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
So join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Matt is back in the host chair. We're recapping LSU's series against Mississippi State and getting you set for LSU's return to spring practice. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I hold on so nervously to me and my drink. I wish it was cooling me, but so far has not been good. It's been shitty, and I feel awkward as I should. This club has got.
Welcome back, OTB. Fonzarelli. My 2 glaring issues with this team are very worrisome. Our pitch selection / calling is the worst I've ever seen, and our plate approach is also horrible. We're seeing in the first pitch way too much. I was trying to find some numbers on. I was trying to find some numbers on how often they were going first or second pitch. I couldn't find them, unfortunately, but it did kind of feel that way at times this weekend. I would say, look, man, if you want to talk about approach at the plate, though, like that's Jay Johnson's thing. That's his wheelhouse. I'm not concerned about that. The more interesting thing watching like YouTube chats and whatnot through the games over the weekend is I've never seen so much where is Wes Johnson, right? Like everybody is just yelling about the pitch selection of and I just got to be completely honest, guys. I don't think I know the game well enough to break down whether or not I who's the new pitching coach? Is it Yeski?
Yeah.
It's Yeski, right? I don't know. I don't think I know enough about it to say whether or not I think Nate Yeski's doing a good job. If anybody does feel confident enough in their take, feel free on Yeski's front.
Musso at the Box. You can listen to it.
Yeah.
It's a nice podcast.
I think Musso and Hunt can give you better insight in that regard, certainly.
The thing, like, obviously, like in my novice baseball mind, that it is abundantly clear is you have got to find the perfect position to put Tommy White in the lineup because he's still raking.
I mean, him at 2 just it feels so disgusting. Yeah. I hate it.
And you can tell Jay's just like, man, I am trying to find a spot where I can put you in this lineup, hoping that Mac Bingham or whoever leads off is on base. And you start to try to figure out, okay, well, like, where can we put you? Who can we put in front of you? Because, Hayden Travinski still gets on base better than anybody with as far as like qualifying at bats on the team. Jared Jones still gets on base. Stephen Milam gets on base. And so, like, you're trying to find the right person in the right order to kind of come up with. And that's going to be the challenge for the LSU lineup because Tommy White is still hitting at a very, very high clip, as we saw
awesome
this weekend. So, like, what does that look like? Do you give yourself over to Mac Bingham being the top guy in this lineup? Because right now, Paxton Kling's just not doing the things that you need from a leadoff hitter. Is it going to be Stephen Milam? Look, he's a freshman. Certainly he's come back down to earth, which you expect all freshmen to do, but still, like, he gives you competitive at-bats. And so is it going to be Bingham and Milam? And then that's where you throw Tommy White in there? Do you throw Tommy White in the cleanup hole and try to put Travinski or Jared Jones or somebody else that gets on base, right? And you're going to have the strikeouts, but they also do still get on base. And so, like, that's where they have to find the sweet spot because he is one guy that is producing, but if he produces with no one on, what's that really do?
Yeah, exactly. And that was one of the other disappointing parts about this weekend, and it was mainly, I would say, yesterday as well, was every time LSU would be the pitching immediately letting down the hitting after a couple of clutch hits, right? Whether it was coming back tying it at 3-3, only then to let Dakota Johnson and Hunter Hines go back-to-back for 4 runs, and immediately you're like 7-3. But then Tommy White comes right back, and he makes it 7-5. You're like, okay, we got some fight. And then what do they do? An immediate 5 spot put up. I mean, that's so deflating. It's so depressing. And, yeah, this weekend felt like White just trying to will his team across the finish line far too often. Camille Tremont says, win on the road in the SC is hard, else you got punched in the face. Everything will be okay. I mean, yeah, look. So, again, we are, level-headedly saying it's baseball. What did Jay Johnson tell the team before the year? He said, I can't promise you how this year is going to go. The one thing I can promise is there's going to be adversity along the way. Now, I think a lot of the friction that we're feeling today is caused because in the preseason, which I consider pre-SEC play, LSU did look significantly better than Mississippi State, even though the numbers weren't that different. The numbers were not. But they look and feel and quality opponent wins, quality opponent losses, LSU felt like the better team. But like Camille said, going on the road in the SEC, especially to that place, opening weekend, that's always going to be tough. And so I guess that when you think you're better going in and then you get kind of exposed like you did, that's always going to cause more pain. But yes, absolutely. It's a long season. It's baseball. There's a ton of room for improvement. And you can't you can't get too down on this because guess what? Don't slow down. Look at the next 4 series. Actually, we'll look at them here in a little bit. Jamie says, I've been doing some thinking about my Tigers. We lost the greatest center fielder ever, greatest pitcher ever, greatest first baseman ever, along with Dugas, Floyd, and Thompson. And that's another element, right? Like it's one thing to when you're a new team that lost that much. It's one thing to do it early on in the manner that you did, and then it's an entire another when you're in Duty Noble and the crowd's going insane and all the momentum is working against you, and you don't have these kind of just unflappable, unstoppable heroes of the past to hold it down for you, right? Like Luke Holman, we thought he was Friday night, like not Skeens, himself, but he had operated in that vein up to this point. Like I thought Friday night was a no-brainer with Siri on the mound for them, with Dome being a scratch and Holman up for LSU. That felt like, okay, this was going to be automatic. And then it was kind of interesting when coming out of the first inning, Siri has an easy 1-2-3. And Holman allows 2 hits. Now he gets out of it, But that was the first kind of red flag. We're like, okay, that's not exactly how I thought it was going to go. And then it kind of descended from there.
Going back to last year, that's what we're talking about right now. If you look at the opening series, you played on the road against Texas A&M. You won 2 of 3. But if you remember, like there were some moments in that series where it felt like you were going to win 1 of 3. I forget which order of the game it was in, but there was one where you end up winning 12-7, but like it looked like you were in for a dogfight. Then you scored 3 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, or 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, something like that, and you kind of pulled away there. You lost the last game of the series, but the stat line of that series doesn't really tell the story. If I remember correctly, those games in that entire series, all of them were like 1 at bat, 2 at bats here and there, and you find a way, and you win 2 of 3. Right, and remember, like everybody was disappointed because you didn't sweep the series. Because to that point, I think you lost maybe the game to Iowa, and I think that might have been it. So, yes, like you wanted to win this series, but it's not that it's going to just completely be a disaster of a season. Because even a team that went and one of the better teams that we've seen in LSU baseball history, they're 5 at bats, maybe one way or the other, in losing a series at College Station. Right, so like starting on the road in the SEC is very difficult now. The opportunity, T, and I know we're going to get there. The opportunity you have this weekend, it's a big one. Now it can go sour for you with who's coming into town, but as you know, every sport's the same. What do you want after a loss? You want a Giant to be able to go out there and knock out.
You want a big boy to go chase after and go attack. Chat is also informing me that I didn't think I realized this, every SEC road team actually lost this weekend. So again, speaks to the quality of this conference and how tough it is to win on the road. Maybe there's some misery loves company sort of element there. Matt C says baseball is the cruelest of mistresses. Yeah, you definitely felt that. Okay, before I go to break, give me one silver lining here. I got 2. I was kind of hoping for more, but I got 2. One is Tommy White still awesome at the plate, but how about Tommy White defensively?
Oh, God,
On a weekend in which the defense kind of sucked and I was ready to fight multiple outfielders for like judging balls incorrectly and leading to critical runs that should have never happened. Tommy White was fantastic at third. And I thought he was already better than I thought last year, but and he talked about it, you can see that the injury was really holding him back from just how good he could be defensively.
I think that's a good one because he will even in plays we won't go back and look at because you lose a series and maybe they weren't game-changing plays, but they were still fantastic plays. And almost every single one of them, T, was against a runner that can get down the line.
Yes.
That made it even more impressive. It was a player where you had to hurry, you had to get the ball out of your hands, and he certainly defensively did shine. Gosh, you're looking for bright spots. Ashton Larson is somebody I want to see more of.
Yep.
Somebody that came in, he got a pinch hit at bat in one of the games and earned a walk, and then he gets a start, and he gets a hit and a walk and scores twice. And so that's somebody that I want to see more of, right? I want to see more of him because he's getting on base, and he's not striking out a ton. Now, limited at bats, but that's what you need. You need some of the guys that have some speed to them or have the ability to be in the top of your lineup to not strike out. Mac Bingham having 3 strikeouts in front of Tommy White is never going to be a good deal for you. You cannot have that. And so they need a leadoff hitter on this team. Last year, you knew who the leadoff hitter was going to be. Even if Jay Tinker with the lineup, it was going to be a Dylan Cruz or it was going to be a Gavin Dugas. It was going to be somebody that gets on base. It was somebody
getting on base at a 400 level.
Yes.
Which is not, that's kind of unfair to just be give me one of those guys. But it's kind of
give me one of
when
those
you're at
guys.
LSU, that's kind of the expectation is that you should have someone who could be on base at around 380.
I personally think that's one of the things that this team needs to make sure that they have moving forward is figuring out who can be that leadoff guy. And now there's some places in the lineup, again, going back to it, that you want to get guys in front of Tommy White that get on base at a high clip. But you've had a leadoff guy, one of the better ones, again, no matter who it was over the last couple of seasons, and that is so important for this team, knowing the bats in White and Jones and Travinsky, the power you have behind them.
Real quick, either y'all got a silver lining?
I have a suggestion for that.
Okay.
Michael Braswell.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he's on base percentage 408. But he looked good yesterday and the weekend. I would say that's a bit of a silver lining there.
One of the few guys that raised his average over the weekend.
Had an RBI double that came up really clutch yesterday. I mean, we just couldn't.
Felt clutch.
Yep. And I think my biggest concern is how many runners we left on base, and we did get a leadoff runner on base a few times yesterday where we didn't do anything with it at all.
Yeah, and especially in the college game, that's kind of crazy to not capitalize on those.
From earlier, I disagree with the Nate Yeski. I think he's a great coach, and he's proven to be a really good pitching and assistant coach as well.
Yeah, I mean, those are always takes that I kind of like side eye a little bit because the people saying that in the YouTube chat, I always kind of wonder if what are your bona fides to say this? Taylor, you got anything?
So mine was going to be like, while you're not hitting, you're finding ways to get those runners on base. You just got to knock them in. I mean, there were 2 or 3 times on Saturday, which is why that lead kind of evaporated, that you left 2, 3 guys on base, multiple innings. So, while you're not hitting, you have them on base. You just got to knock them in. Here's a crazy stat for you, okay? With 2 outs and runners on base, Mississippi State was 20 of 41 this weekend.
I was going to say their 2-out hitting seemed out of control this weekend.
That's 488 as a team on the weekend.
What?
488, 20 of 41.
Where did you find that? Who compiled those numbers?
I get an email from Bill Franquez every Monday.
Shut up, Bill. That's a hell of a stat.
So. We love Bill.
Wow.
That's your issue. You have them on base, you're just not knocking them in. You find a way to do that, you're right there.
Gray Bear says State has some good bats. Well, that's the crazy part, right? That was kind of like not the scouting part. They were said to have a good bat. And then Marchand probably like a bat and a half. And then, Hines, even Downs goes 4 of 5 yesterday. Yeah. And Dakota Jordan was very much everything that he was rumored to be.
Marchand's good on the bases, too.
Yeah, he's fast.
Yeah.
I mean, as Matt C. does point out, Dakota hit one of those off Thatcher Hurd. It's actually a pretty good pitch by Thatcher Hurd.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a breaking shot.
ball.
He just muscled it out.
It's a breaking ball, not a bad spot.
And it was a no-doubter to dead center. It was like, damn,
and
dude.
he hit it, and he was flexing. I'm like, you didn't hit that out.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I know.
And if we want to talk about tinkering with the bullpen a little bit, I would like to see Cade Anderson and Thatcher Hurd switch days just to test that out.
Yeah, I'm also a little surprised.
He got touched up a little bit on the weekend.
Yeah. Well, they did that last year. I mean, he was supposed. When you brought him in, a lot of people thought he was going to be the Friday night guy last year. They put him in that midweek spot a lot last year to kind of get him going, and it worked out.
Yeah. I thought I was a little surprised too. Now credit Little on Saturday for getting the big double play ball. Yeah. I was maybe a little surprised you didn't go to Ackenhausen yesterday, but when you went to Little, but okay, that's my other silver lining. We'll go to breaks. We got to at least you got one. You really flirted with really nuclear disaster here, blowing a 9-1, but you got the one, and you can build off of that. Okay? All right. Maybe we'll talk a little more baseball. Probably start to shift into some other sports. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon. Get it done. 225-888-8888, 318, any area code. Then you put in the 8s, and you get in touch with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. And you get somebody who's going to fight for you and give you what you deserve. So you get in an accident, man, you don't want to think twice about it, okay? You just call Gordon. Follow him on social media, @GetGordon. And there's a few great things. First off, the G team. A lot of your favorite athletes, right? You got great sit-downs with them. You kind of get insight in them, what makes them tick. The Grub with G series is particularly great. Just great general life advice to be found on their Instagram and whatnot, and also steps to take to protect yourself when an accident does happen. So get Gordon, get it done today.
Yeah, I drove up I-49 this weekend. I can tell you, our listeners in Alexandria, our listeners in Shreveport, Natchitoches, we're talking to you. They can help you throughout the state of Louisiana. Put that area code followed by 888-8888. That's Get Gordon and get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at Community Steel.
Is set for the 2024 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. Tune in for first-round coverage Thursday night at 6 and Friday night at 6. Then catch second-round coverage starting Saturday at noon and Sunday morning at 11. Right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah. Welcome back, OTB. Oh, just gotta listen to the metal deal this rage, man. Rough weekend. Rough weekend, certainly. But now you got the Gators coming to town this week. Also, maybe there's something that I'm missing because I don't know how much like media travels for baseball and everything, but like somebody posted Jay Johnson press conference, you cowards. Like I don't care if it's LSU or something or somebody we need to be able to hear. I there's nothing I love more than Jay Johnson's views on both the wins and losses. He's the most shrewd baseball mind. I'm like searching all of the internet and it's nowhere to be found, which is very disappointing. Look, we can go back around to baseball a bit later, but also over the weekend, the Pelicans with a nice two-piece. And most importantly, like don't get me wrong, the Blazers win was excellent. Pulling away, winning, sure. But Friday night against the Clippers, the game we talked about on Friday that you had to have, very important for the standings. It was going to decide who had the tiebreaker for the season series between the two teams. And how about this? I didn't realize the Pelicans had not beaten a good team at home since December when they beat the T-Wolves. Remember, like they've been doing this thing where they've been beating the quality teams on the road, but every time they played host, I mean, remember they just got worked by the Cavs here recently. Like every time they played host, Heat, all those Friday night games where we'd build up all the hype and then it would just kind of fall flat on its face. Well, here was the most important one to date to get the team that you're directly competing with in Los Angeles. You got the Skeletons, Unis, and Court out. and the boys took care of business 112-104, and it was all about Zion Williamson, who now the most important part of the year is finally getting to play, and he's playing his best basketball, 34 points, 7 boards, 3 steals. And how about the move that Willie Green makes with 3 minutes left in that game? Will Guillory from The Athletic did a really good job of pointing this out and writing about it. But with 3 minutes left, okay, the Pelicans have been pretty awful offensively this entire season. In clutch minutes offensively, they're 26th in the NBA. So they have struggled down the stretch. So here, trying to hold on to a lead, 3 minutes left, Willie Green did some great. He puts in a group that has only played 5 minutes together all season long. He benches CJ McCollum, your salty vet, goes Zion at point guard, Herb, Ingram, and Murphy on the wings, Nance at center, and it gets it done. You end up winning that game. Pels out now have the 3-1 tiebreaker over the Clips. Should it come down to that? They have a nice 2.5 game cushion between them and the Kings, who are right behind them, and they're now just 1 game behind Los Angeles. Excellent job by this Pelican squad.
Yeah, you had the win against the Pacers in March, and so that was a big home win. You lost to them on the road, but still, to your point, T-Bob, like you need Western Conference wins.
Yep.
Like it's got to be against the teams that we've talked about. You're in that cluster of Suns and Clippers and Kings where you want to not be in the play-in, because this is a team, and it's not just us saying it, it's people that cover this, and it's the only sport that they cover, right? NBA experts that say the Pelicans could be a dangerous team in any 7-game series, and we know that because of what they've done so far this year. So it was nice to see them go out there against the Clippers, but also how many times have, in the last couple of years we talked about, man, it's a nice win, and then you come back against a bad team, whatever team you want to call a bad team, and you'd lose that next game, right? So they beat the Clippers, and then they come back and they beat a bad Trailblazers team.
Take care of business.
So being able to handle success, take care of business, those things are the most important thing for me, because sure, you can get out for the big game, and they did against the Clippers, but so many times over the last couple of years, like even when the Pelicans have made the play-in, we're like, man, like, why do you lose to the Magic and the Bulls every time that you play them? It used to be the Timberwolves. Actually, the T-Wolves are good now, but like T-Wolves used to be a team that you would lose to. So like being able to handle that, I think is showing you that this team is different. It's no longer the same team. It's a team that is going to put fear into whoever they play in the postseason. They have figured themselves out as far as the rotation and different things. And then Willie's not afraid, like you mentioned, to throw a lineup out there that's played 5 minutes together. Like he has trust in his team right now. So all things are going extremely well for the Pelicans. It's exciting. If you can stay healthy going into the postseason, there is not a series that you can get in where you feel like you don't have hope.
And, I mean, to be fair, there's a good chance you end up squaring up with the Clippers one way or another.
Yeah.
Y'all are looking like y'all are going to finish at 4-5 potentially with some combination there. And those are a lot of basketball to be played, but Pels 7-3 in their last 10, Clips and Kings both 5-5. And the point Zion experiment not experiment, because that's not what it is, but the evolution and development of point Zion just continues to get more and more dominant. Adam Field saying Zion transformed into that gritty, hard-nosed warrior hero is something good to see. It's happening for him. I agree. And now you can tell that he's just excited to be there, man, in terms of like being available, feeling healthy, playing meaningful basketball in the midst of a tense playoff race. It's just a great time. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You want to go to GEAUXTommys.com. That's GEAUXTOMMYS. Go Tommys.com. You need wood windows. You need vinyl windows. You need Hardy plank siding, vinyl siding. They got you over the ties. Any type of door you need, they got you. Okay, and Tommy's been doing this for 27 years, y'all. Started Tommy's Windows Siding 7 years ago. Won the Angie Service Award 7 years in a row, which is why I always say, don't take my word for it. Let him prove it to you. You got a project, you're reinvesting in your home, okay? Make Tommy's one of your bids and let them show you firsthand why you want to work with Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
Yeah, so basically they've won it every year.
Yeah.
And they're going to win you over as well. That website that T-Bob gave you, that is GoTommys.com. Also pick up the phone, give them a call, tell them what you've got going on and what you want to get done. 225-250-8808. And you can also see past client results on GoTommys.com, GEUXTommys.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. So, rough weekend in Starkville. Great weekend for the Pelicans. As Taylor with a nice little stat here. The Pelicans, the only team in the Western Conference with a better road record than home, 21-13 on the road, 20-13 at home, which basically dead even, right? Which I love, because you want to talk about playoff basketball where playing well on the road is going to be just as, if not more important than holding serve at home. You look like a team that is pretty well adapted to doing so. Also, it's a classic defense travels thing, right? This is one of the top defensive teams in the entire NBA, and, well, they can go play that style wherever they have to. On the basketball front, March Madness starting to take shape. Start to go ahead and do your brackets and whatnot. The LSU men do indeed end up getting the NIT bid. They're going to host a first-round game against North Texas. They're a 4 seed. But the LSU women, I don't know seeding well enough to get like super upset or understand how this happens. But despite being ranked 8th in the country, despite making it to the SC tournament final, despite all of this, ends up as a 3 seed, not a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. And we'll get into their opponents, but were you surprised to see them check in at 3?
When you look at the RPI, T-Bob, they're 18th in RPI. And so you look at some of the other teams that got 2 seeds, like UCLA is 5th, Stanford is 4th, and Ohio State is 9th, and Notre Dame is 2 spots ahead of you at 16. So those are the teams that got the 2 seeds. So I guess they went strictly off RPI because, you see LSU ranked 8th in the country. You expect them to get a 2 seed, certainly like defending national champion, and they don't get that. And there's some teams like UConn's a 3 seed. They're number 3 in the RPI. And so, there's some quality teams in this NCAA tournament on the women's side, and it is not a for sure thing that South Carolina is just going to run the table. And so LSU gets lined up with a potential Elite 8 game against Iowa if both these teams win. And so it's going to be a tough road for the Tigers. But I think it's going to be a tough road for any team that wins it.
MD Cajun, they won it all last year as a 3 seed. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, fair. So you look at who you have, what your road looks like. You're going to play Rice, 14 seed, to open things up in the PMAC. You'll then square up with the winner of Louisville, Middle Tennessee. Potentially some interesting storylines there with Haley Van Lith, obviously. And then eventually, if you win your games and they win theirs, we could be looking at a big-time rematch. LSU, Iowa on a collision course. Iowa, the 1 seed in the bracket, could be getting a little Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese national championship rematch. That's the good stuff. But obviously there's a lot to go before that. And this is an LSU team that I still like, but it does feel a bit more volatile than last year's where, they're going to, you can't get too ahead of yourself here. You got to come correct every single game.
Yeah. I don't think there's, any easy path. Like, if you get past the PMAC games, right, if you win both those games, you have to play a really good UCLA team.
Yeah.
In all likelihood, if you even want to get to Iowa. So the path, no matter where you're at, is going to be very difficult. So Iowa, UCLA, LSU, if any of those 3 teams found their way, the winner of this side of the bracket, I don't think anybody would be surprised.
So we'll see where it goes. But LSU checking in as a 3 seed, and the men making the NIT, which is a big deal postseason for the boys there. Okay, hour 2 coming up. We got some LSU football news. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. You want to take control of your comfort zone today, starting to warm up more consistently, I would say. And so you want to make sure that your AC unit's good to go, ready for the impending summer, the heat of Mount Doom. Well, AccuTemp's your answer, man. And look, the reviews are unbelievable for a reason. Service to the highest degree is not just their public tagline, right? It is their core ethos. It is their mission statement, their North Star, their guiding light. And it's to the heart of everything they do. And you're going to feel that when you work with them. That's why the reviews are so positive. Check them out today. AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com.
You can schedule your appointment right now online. One of the great things over at AccuTempBR.com, top right corner of that site, and get it done, and probably get it done today. That's what kind of service you're going to get from AccuTemp. Again, AccuTempBR.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Bayou Ford has $7,500 off MSRP on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks. $7,500 off plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, March 18th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 64. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk some LSU football recruiting news and the latest with the New Orleans Saints. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Hour number 2 of OTB here on this Monday. Hope you're having a great day. What a great weekend it was over the weekend. Weather, cooperated for the most part with everything, guys. Bananas games, seems like they were a ton of fun all weekend long. I think the Bananas did end up taking this series against the Party Animals. Am I wrong here?
No, they won.
Okay,
I was
going to say, I feel like they heard Friday. I feel like they won Friday and Saturday. Of course, Taylor, look, he had a Party Animals shirt on Thursday. Party Animals won. He worked the LSU game on Saturday. LSU won. I mean, I don't know. Our guy just had a bit of a hot weekend.
People are starting to talk.
Must have been that Newly sandwich he sent me a picture of on Friday, which looked delicious.
So I think that means Taylor needs to work every single game at LSU
yes,
for the rest of the season.
I agree. Taylor, are you ready to commit for all of us? Are you ready to you now have to commit yourself to doing every baseball game for the rest of the year?
Not midweek, though. They don't matter. But other than that,
well, but RPI, Jay Johnson says
very
they
much
does.
matter.
So, yeah, Jay says they do. So thank you, Taylor, for your sacrifice. It's very kind.
We appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it.
I mean, I doubt Victoria wants you at home that much anyway, right?
Now that's one of the most accurate things you said. Yeah,
and
for
there's
sure.
there's no kids yet. Dog doesn't really like you. Like I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
Not
dude.
the dog.
I thought Saturday though, St. Patty's Day, awesome, sunny, beautiful. That's a long parade. It's a long parade. Kept thinking like, oh, okay, there we go. That was it. But then no, just a little bit of lagging, still going by. So shout out everyone out there riding, having fun, great time. Just a fantastic weekend, except for on the baseball diamond. where you lose 2 or 3 in Starkville. About as insecure of a start as you could have possibly had after, again, I'm still mad at Brian Haydad. We talked to him on Friday, and I wasn't feeling that cocky. I mean, I thought LSU was certainly going to win, but in like prepping for the series, I was actually like, okay, Mississippi State is actually way better than I thought they were, and they seem to be playing hot. And then he is like, nah, we suck. Well, I hope not, because then that means very bad things on the 4 for LSU. We talked so much baseball. I don't want to stay here long, but if you had one thing that you need to improve, that you need to change going into this weekend in the box against Florida, what's it going to be?
Plate approach.
Okay.
All right.
Fair. I would feel great about that. Like, that's Jay Johnson's specialty. I would bet on them being just fine in that regard.
I think getting Holman and Jump back on the path that they were on.
Yeah.
I think
mean,
getting
just
your
starting
Friday
and
and
pitching
Saturday.
in general, you could say, but yes.
I think those two guys, because I don't think it was as bad as the stat line. Again, Holman gives up a ton of singles. Some of those runs were not earned. And Jump had good movement on the ball. Like, I don't think that he was off. He was just missing and gave the 3 free passes there. I thought that kind of got him in trouble, but it wasn't like he didn't have good stuff. And so to get those guys back going on Friday and Saturday, because Sunday right now, I still think like it's a question mark. But I still think Friday and Saturday, you've got guys that even when they were, air quotes, bad, that there were still some things that they did good out there.
Well, and on Friday, too, you should have gotten more support from the boys. I mean, you let Sierra get to 4 innings. I don't think he completed the 4th, but he had never made it past 2 in any outing thus far. And then you let a freshman, Nolan Stevens, come in and just handle you the rest of the way out. Like the plate, you should have had more support at the plate on Friday. I mean, again, layman, dumb, easy, but I don't care who it is. The leadoff man's just got to get on. The lead, it's now, and granted, I guess you could say clutch hitting as well, because they had a lot of runners, but specifically that leadoff spot needs to find a more consistent way to get on base. Alondra Taylor, before we move on to baseball, one thing that you want to see change for Florida?
I want to stop giving free passes. You can't walk all these batters. I mean, y'all were talking about Gage Jump on Saturday. He had good stuff. I mean, he wasn't getting lit up as far as batting. He gave up too many free passes. And then it wasn't just him. Like, you could say, oh, Holman didn't have it, Jump didn't have it. The bullpen didn't have it either.
No.
It was really all weekend long. I mean, you gave up way too many free passes, way too many walks. You got to improve that, because that's really something we hadn't seen all year up until this point.
Which is like, that's why it's a bit confusing. Is it just because the quality of batter is slightly better, that they're getting intimidated, not willing to attack as much? Is it something to do with Duty Noble, the high leverage spots? There's a lot of questions that could be asked in that regard. Alon, you got one thing you want to see?
Yeah, like I said, plate approach.
You already did. My bad.
Like, we have gotten leadoff runner on base, and we do absolutely nothing with it.
Yeah.
And stop hitting into double plays.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, I would always say that always feels good.
Stop swinging at the first pitch that you see. Stop hitting into double plays when you do get the leadoff runner on it. Yeah.
That's a good baseball hack as well.
Yeah.
Just don't hit double plays.
Right.
It's not that hard. Like, if I was a hitter, I'd never hit double plays. I just wouldn't do it. You couldn't catch me dead.
I mean, if you watch the pitches and you don't swing at the first pitch,
boys, you know what I saw
you have
this weekend?
less of a chance to hit into a double play.
Fair. Actual true. On Saturday, so I mentioned I went to that party, which was a ton of fun. Bunch of hogs, a bunch of Arkansas people. Which good people, they're great, but there was a live magic act, and I don't know if y'all know this about me, but
I love magic.
I love magic. I love live magic, like street magic. It amazes me what people can do. Got to give a shout out to my guy Hecka the Magi.
Love.
I don't know if they paid him in frankincense and myrrh, but he earned it, because it was unreal, dude. I saw him guess. I don't know how you do this. Just straight up guessing somebody's phone code.
What?
Yeah, doing that. And I know there's a trick to everything, but I don't care to know exactly how it's done. But the fact that he could grab this random woman's phone, look into her eye, and then guess the code blew my mind. A classic, and look, I know the sleight of hand that people can do with cards is unbelievable, but one of those classic, folded up a card, put it in my hand, and then, yep, damn sure enough, that card changes into another card while I'm holding it the entire time. At one point, he had a shot glass with another glass over the top on a table. and he stood like 5 or 6 yards away. He had 2 coins. Sure enough, out of nowhere, like snaps, and you hear a ding, and all of a sudden there's a coin inside the glass.
That is insane.
Inside the glass, guys.
How does he do it?
I don't know.
I
It was
used to
awesome.
be obsessed with David Blaine.
Yeah.
Like I would binge watch his videos on YouTube.
You ever seen
he
the
had
old-
a documentary.
T-Bob
too.
was a Chris Angel guy.
That is not true. I was not a Chris.
Dude, you told
See,
me that you used to have a Mind Freak T-shirt. What
No,
are you talking
I've never
about?
had a Mind Freak T-shirt.
What?
I do. I appreciate Chris Angel's branding, right?
Yeah.
He is so fully himself. He exists in like the same area that Mystery, the pickup artist, does. And that
Yes.
he is not being anybody else but himself. But but Chris Angel's a step too far to me, right? Because he's sitting here flying and like doing this stuff. And I'm like, well, like, I don't know, whatever. This is on TV. I'm not that impressed. I like I'm sitting there. It's street magic. Everybody's gathered around from all different angles, and you're still consistently pulling it off. It was awesome. Shout out to the Magi, dude. Blows my mind.
I just don't think you need to hide your fandom for Chris Angel. I mean, that's a long time ago.
I don't. I've never, ever.
It was like 2007 or so. I think I saw you with that shirt on.
I've never liked Chris Angel. I guess I did watch Mind Freak some back in the day, for sure. Do y'all remember those old viral David Blaine Street Magic videos?
Yeah.
The
Did you ever see
comedy
the
ones?
parody one?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Those are fantastic. Sorry, I wanted to give Hecka a shout.
Have you ever seen him, David Blaine, like take a frog out of his mouth?
No.
Well, he has like this trick where a frog comes out of his mouth and he spits it into a glass.
Yeah, what does he do? It's like the regurgitating
Yeah,
thing.
he it he regurgitates
He had a
this
fish,
frog,
too,
like a
one
live
time, yeah.
frog out of his mouth.
Do you think it was really in his belly? Probably. I feel like you could train yourself to do that.
Right. I mean, I don't know what. I wish I knew how to do magic. I would be doing it right now. But I can't tell you how he put that frog in his mouth.
Or why? Why
yeah,
would
why?
you do that?
For entertainment value.
Mm-hmm. David, you get that whole frog in there?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Hey now. Some big football recruiting news. How about this, guys? The Brian Kelly-Brad Davis combo does it again as this number 1 ranked LSU 2025 class gets yet another big-time commit. This time, hey, Mississippi State, how about you suck on this, okay? Because Tyler Miller, 4-star from Laurel, Mississippi, done chose LSU over Ole Miss, over State, over Florida. And this is a cat, Tyler Miller, Jake, who the On3 industry rankings, so that's like your 247 composite, takes them all into account. Them as a number 71 player in the nation, the number 3 interior lineman. On3's rankings actually has him ranked 40th and number 1 overall. So, and he's 6'6", 318, by the way, guys. But if you just go by On3 rankings, it now means this 2025 class has the number 1 quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and interior offensive lineman committed. Now, like we talked about, Decorian Moore, he released the top 4, so that's interesting for a committed guy. But still, hell of a job by this staff continuing to build.
It is, and we've talked about trying to keep this class together. Like, what's one of those things that's the most important thing? And I believe it is to have the heavy hitters recruit everybody else in the country. And it feels like, T, that's what they're doing. Like, all these number 1 players that we're talking about and the quarterback. Because it doesn't matter if you're a kicker, if you're a DB, if you're a receiver, an offense, a defensive lineman, does not matter. You will listen to the number 1 quarterback in the country when you're trying to get recruited. And if he's out there trying to recruit other players to this special all-time type number 1 player at all these positions type class, well, you have that guy out in front that is always going to behoove you. So I'm not shocked by anybody that they're able to go out there and get. They have had major recruiting weekends over the last couple of months, and it just feels like this class is solid as far as the guys they have committed. Like, even guys that released the top 4 that are committed to LSU, you still feel like they are firmly committed to LSU. And so, like, I don't know what the limit's going to be on this class. They just continue. Like, you get top 100 players like that,
Crazy.
And it's like, oh, okay. Like, think about that. You got a top 70, like right there on the line, 70 player, and it's like, oh man, all right, cool. Like, that's how big this class is like you're almost expecting every single time you get a commit for it to be a top 150 player.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I feel like, so this is what it feels like to be like a Georgia fan or like an Ohio State fan or like an Alabama fan for the past 15 years where, yeah, of course this, like to Jake's point, of course the top 100 guy committed. It's just what you do. I also just think that you got to give, and again, all this has to be landed, guys, right? But it's still, even in securing these commitments, that is a small victory that shouldn't just be glossed over. But I still can't say enough about Brad Davis, one of the most shrewd hires of the Ed Ogeron era. Finally getting Brad Davis back to Baton Rouge. Brian Kelly holding over Brad Davis. Brad Davis so integral in that brutal transition where you saw so much roster attrition and guys falling left and right and getting let go and some that even got brought back, right? Like, you made a mistake with Corey Raymond, not getting on him early enough and making him feel a bit unwanted, so he left and went to Florida. And, well, credit to you. You made a mistake and brought it back. But Brad Davis, he was the leader, the interim coach, survives all of that, and he continues to build this offensive line group in a way that it's more consistent, more sustainable, and better top to bottom than I think we have maybe ever seen, or at least maybe since some of those early Saban teams where you were pretty chock full NFL guys on both sides of the line. But this is definitely like the more recent era. Now, outside of the kind of lightning bolt of 2019, the sustainability of this line looks like it's there for years to come, and Tyler Miller could be the latest name to maybe add to that mix.
There's only 8 5-star guys committed in this 2025 class, and you've got 3 of them.
Wow.
I mean, that shows you kind of how dominant you've been in this cycle, and I think the only other team that has more than one right now is Ohio State with 3. So you are the number 1 team in the country. The Buckeyes do have 3 as well, but like Georgia only has 1. I know Tennessee has 1. And so like you've gotten heavy hitters almost every time you've got to commit because you've got 11 guys committed. You have 3 5-stars and 8 4-stars.
Wow.
So you've gotten like pretty much every position that you want to be able to go out there and get. And you mentioned the offensive line. It does feel like, T-Bob, like when I was playing here, when you were playing here, what LSU used to do on the defensive line.
Yes. Where it was
just like every single
talent.
Way you looked, there was uber talent. Kyle Williams, Glenn Dorsey, Tyson Jackson, like you name it. And then you played with like
Ricky
a new
G, Michael Brockers, Benny Logan, but then even in like to Devon Godchaux and whatever. We all, like the list goes on and on in terms of these D linemen that have gone on to be great on Sunday as well. So now certainly I think the defense is kind of an interesting spot. I mean, what's the theme of everybody that's ranked number 1 at their position? They're all offensive players. And so you could see that. And you know what else this is, Jake? I do think this is a knock-on effect of both Joe Burrow and maybe even more so Jaden Daniels, right? Because you now have had 2 offenses recently that have shown you just how insanely high the ceiling can be offensively at LSU, where we've arrived at this deeply ironic spot where now you kind of have to prove it defensively to these recruits once again. But I think Blake Baker, Bo Davis's recruiting is, there's a reason why you're paying him $1.5 million a year. Of course, we talked about Kevin Peebles for a while on Friday and how underrated he is. And then we all know about the Godfather, Corey Raymond. So, I think, though, that will start to pay dividends more over time. But, yeah, to get LSU to a point where they are offensively, at least for people our age, around our age, it just feels like this is something that you never would have witnessed, 10 years ago or something along those lines. So great job by this LSU staff continuing to get some early commits in the boat.
I would also say that Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, going back to you talking offensive football and how it's exciting. And also let's not forget about the big fellas. Like Damian Lewis and Lloyd Cushenberry just signed massive deals, and there's second contracts in the NFL. I think both was $50+ million. So you see that as well, and you can recruit off that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a long period of time, T-Bob, where LSU didn't have NFL offensive linemen.
No.
After that wave of all those guys that played in 03, and even like guys that were here years after that, like Andrew Whitworth.
There's like Peterman, Whitworth, Rodney Reed, Rudy Niswonger, Ben Wilkerson. Like, yeah, those were all. But then after that,
both of our groups.
In my era, there was not many.
Mine either. I mean, we had
Joe Barksdale's probably the one.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Saron Black and Herman Johnson and Brett Helms and Lyle Hitt, all these guys were really good college football players. Carnell Stewart, they didn't play in the NFL though.
No.
Your group had really good
nobody on
college
the
football
2011
players,
line
but
played.
no NFL guys. And that's okay, but I'm saying you had a long period of time where what do recruits want to hear? They want to hear about the NFL success story that signed a second contract. They got $30, $40, $50 million. Well, now they have the ability to say, look, we got Lloyd Cushenberry, we got Damian Lewis, we got Ethan Posey.
Yeah,
we got
Ethan Posey kind of kicked a lot of that
Will
off,
Clapp
too.
got another contract. So you have that now to be able to go out there and recruit to. And, you start to see that paying off now because you've had the quarterbacks you mentioned with Burrow and the receivers, and you've had running backs, but you've never really had the offensive line over the last 10-plus years to be able to recruit off of.
Yeah. Also, Will Clapp, I mean, he's become an excellent horny meme on the internet.
One of the top horny meme.
Probably more famous than any other offensive lineman simply because of that. I guarantee he has more name recognition than D-Lou and Lloyd Cushenberry simply because he shows up in every Twitter thread.
You think he gets any money from that?
No, hell no.
I mean, just something.
No. Nope, just memery. Just memery. But hey, I'd rather have that than nothing, It's at least, if nothing else, you've left your mark. He has found some shred of immortality in some way. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, guys, we got 1 week left. Shout out Central Plumbing. Central Plumbing loves Dreams Come True, as do I. Dreams Come True is a Louisiana organization that makes the dreams come true of Louisiana kids and their families who are having to deal with the toughest of circumstances, right? It is a local Make-A-Wish, essentially. I've been working with them for years, and I cannot tell you how incredibly deep it will touch you when you meet these kids and these families and how much what Dreams Come True does mean to them. So, a week from today is the Dreams Come True golf tournament. It has been sold out for a couple months now, okay? But Central Plumbing has a team that they are auctioning off. So you go to YouTube, or excuse me, you go to 1045ESPN.com. You can see it on the flipper. It's starting at $1,000, and you're going to help a kid's dream come true. And then me, you, 3 of your buddies, we're going to go golfing, or get all 4 together. Go in together on it. We're going to go golfing all next Monday. Drink some beers, have some fun. Shout out Central Plumbing. Dreams come true, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off the new 23 Ram 1500 SCA truck. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $22,500 off the new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
and looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows,
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. It's just the 4th time in Pelicans history they've reached 20 road wins. It's the first time since 2011 they've been 15 games over 500. They're on pace for 50 wins for the first time since 2008. And it's be a big if, but if they go 5-3 on the road to close this thing out, they will tie the franchise record for best road record, which I think was back in that magical, what was it, 07-08 or 08-09 season. Either way, this Pelicans team, massively good weekend. Another road win notch yesterday. And then what? You got a little road trip coming up. I think it's Nets, Magic, Heat, Pistons. So some winnable games in that to maybe tie this record. But yes, if you are a Pelican fan, the vibes have never been this high. Smoothie King Center looking absolutely electric on Friday as well.
I mean, just think about the excitement that surrounded the Pelicans. What was it, 2 years ago when they're playing the Suns in that series?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it was a lot of juice, and Jose was doing Jose things and getting everybody fired up, and he was frustrating the Suns. And even though you didn't win that series, like that felt really good. Well, this team is much better than that team.
Yeah.
Like this team's more complete than that team. This team is, aged where they are now veteran players and they're playing at their peak. Like this is the best Zion and a healthy Zion that we're seeing. And so, yeah, there's a lot of excitement because, again, you get into a 7-game series, they're going to be a hard out. They have the things that you have to have in the postseason. Now, we know you got to have it in the starting 5, but you got to have in the postseason a guy that can come off the bench and hit a shot. You got to have somebody who's versatile who can play 4 or 5. They had that in Larry Nance. And you got to have somebody that is annoying as hell on defense, and they certainly have the guy that is the best in that role maybe in the NBA, right?
Well, they have the most annoying, but then they also have, like during the break, and we can get to this, but we were just talking about needing or wanting like a first team off the bus cornerback, right? Somebody who's just a dog. Well, basketball-wise, you have that in Herb Jones.
Yep.
Like you have the actual just real defensive, otherworld, badass, should be all NBA. The block that he had on Paul George on Friday is one of the greatest defensive plays you will ever see in your entire life. But to your point, yes, and you've also got your scrappy Jose, like Daniel Blunt in the chat says, fam, I'm going to name my firstborn Jose now. Yeah. And I am so glad that they did not make a move at the trade deadline and did not mess with the chemistry and did not mess with the depth, right? Because at times this year we talked about, well, do you need to shrink the rotation? Do you have too many guys? But I think the options, I think the freshness with which it's helping to maintain guys going later into the season, I think how kind of adaptable it makes you. I think you're starting to see all of these strengths. Again, Willie Green at the end of that Clippers game randomly puts a lineup out there that they had barely even tried out this year, and it worked to perfection. So yeah, you can attack teams in so many different ways, but maybe just as important, you can react to teams in so many different ways. Look, here's the play too. Watch it where, I mean, when Paul George gets this ball, Herb Jones is nowhere to be seen, and then Paul George has no shot of getting that shot up. I mean, it is, he definitely had, look at that. From underneath the basket to then blocking and scoring on the other end.
And Paul George said, that's never happened to me before.
Yeah. He was taking it back.
Yeah.
He's so long. Herb is.
So you have, obviously you have him in the starting, lineup, but also like we're talking about, like in the postseason, you got to have the other stuff. And they have Trey Murphy off the bench, right? You got to have that guy that can come in and score. Like Valanciunas is playing only 18, 19 minutes in this recent run as well. So they've kind of changed his role. Like Larry Nance is actually getting more minutes, and then Larry didn't play the other night, and Najee Marshall's minutes went up. And so they have the things that you have to have on the bench, because I think that's important in the postseason, because you're going to need those things. You're going to need those moments, and they have within their DNA the things that you have to be able to go out there and not only just win a series, T-Bob, but to make a serious run.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to see them continue this where they go. Excited to continue, and then you just can't say enough about just having a healthy Zion ready to go here at the end of the year when you need the most. Because Brandon Ingram Friday can drop just a cool 13, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. And that's another thing that I like about this team is even when it comes to being the guy, like the all-star for the night. It can rotate. It's mainly going to be Ingram and Zion, but McCollum can have those nights. We know Trey Murphy can have those nights as well. And that's another reason why this Pels team is having so much success. I agree with Matt C. Pels haven't been this good since the Hornets. I agree. And that's fantastic. It's after it's been a long, dark road to get to this place. But I'll be damned if it ain't the old Rascal Flats thing where it was worth it, or it's been worth it. Now let's just see how this team will finish out, and then how much fun they can be in the playoffs. All right, let's do this. Let's go to break to kind of reset the clock, get back on time here. We got to talk about the Saints secondary as a couple surprising moves over the weekend means getting a little thinner in that regard. Also, Jake, we talked a bit of 14-team playoff on Friday. You were not in. Want to get your take on that. March Madness. We got weekend winners. Hold the Mayo. So just stick around here. YouTube.com/1045ESPN. Smash the like button if you're hanging out there, y'all. And we got more OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Community Steel Company. CommunitySteelCo.com. CommunitySteelCo.com. If you need steel, you want to just go to Gonzales, Louisiana. That's where Community Steel is. And that's where they actually make all of their products. So you need purlin, tubing, steel building, sheet metal, whatever the case may be. You can go see it before you buy it. It's not just ordering from some national company off of some online order form, dealing with answering machines and customer representatives that are out of the country. No. You go see the product, you touch the product, you meet the live and local sales team, you form relationships so they can best serve your needs, and you get it all at the strongest price point. So what are you waiting for? Community Steel Company. Go to CommunitySteelCo.com today.
And go see them today because they've already been open for an hour and a half there in Gonzales, Louisiana. So go see them today. Do all those things that T-Bob mentions every single day. And also pick up the phone, give them a call, 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Having a nice Monday here, rolling right along. I say nice Monday. I think it's just coming in a good mood, and it was a great weekend, like fun-wise. Still smarting over what happened in Duty Noble. Hey, guys, also, if you're one of the LSU fans that feels the need to be like, Duty Noble, I gotta be honest, way better than the Bucks. Shut the cuck up, okay? Be quiet. I don't care. Like, yeah, you're probably right. But don't say it when they're beating your ass to start the SEC series, to start the SEC season. It's an absurdly cowardly Stockholm Syndrome-y thing to say, okay? Keep that to yourself until another weekend when you're having conversations or when you're trying to talk about how ways that you want to improve Alec Box, like whatever, okay? So much of that floating around in the ether, and it just made me so angry. Yeah, the dude's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. Not the time, guys.
I can't tell you one way or the other. I've only seen it empty during football season, walking over there and checking it out. So I've never been actually in the stadium during a baseball game.
It's on my bucket list. It's one of my sport bucket list things is to go to a game that LSU's not involved in at the Dukes. I kind of want to be like among the people not actively cheering against them, but not the time.
You know a lot of Mississippi State people, right, T-Bob? I've never been to the Dude. I was just wondering, in right field, how does their Intimidator compare to ours?
Okay. So yes,
just
there
wondering.
we go. Yeah. Now look, It is weird that they have the all-time series, but
they just have like the poster of the one.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
It's like taped to the fence.
The dude is cool. I just saw too much of that this weekend, and again, it's I don't care if it's true or not. It's just not the time for it, and it was triggering me a bit and making me a bit angry.
What's considered like the best college baseball stadium? Like,
I mean, isn't
I think
that
it's
like kind of up
yeah.
there?
I mean,
like
that's what I'm saying.
SD1.
People say, well, I guess it's not college baseball stadium, but they play where they play the College World Series
Oh,
at
yeah,
Schwab.
for
They
sure.
say that
No, we're talking but
Yeah,
no.
on
yeah, I
campus.
think it's.
I mean,
no,
isn't
I
Ole
get
Miss
that.
putting a ton
That's
of
why I
money into
prefaced it with.
Florida
Schwazee
just
as well?
built a brand new facility, but I don't know like what the environment
Do
is
Florida
like.
fans care?
That's
though?
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
do
I don't
Florida
know
fans go?
that Florida fans, because that's kind of been one of the things that's been a knock on them is, do they care enough about baseball?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, A&M's got Bluebell Park, the name fantastic, and if they serve Bluebell, you've got me already. But I don't know what the atmosphere is like there.
Well, also with A&M, I mean, they blow bubbles, dude. That is the lamest tradition in all of sports. Just full stop. All of sports. I don't even know. I'm sure there's some like Pakistani cricket traditions that would maybe challenge this, or like some random sports around the world that I don't know about, but there's nothing less intimidating than bubbles flying through the air after a big hit. So, like, I don't care if A&M had the coolest stadium packed with the craziest fans in the entire world. They completely cut their own legs out from under them with that. And I'm someone who likes yell leaders. Like, I'm a big yell leader supporter. I think the post-game thing of, like, carrying them and dumping them in the fountain and then watching them swim around is a bit odd. But, like, I still think yell leaders are very cool. It's odd.
Yeah, you can throw the bit out of there. It's odd.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like the first time we see Moffitt, we're going to clown him for that.
Yeah.
On the spot.
I hope they try to grab Moffitt and dump him in there and then make him do all the little cute little cheers and whatnot. Zachary Tresky says, I went to the dude before they started selling beer in stadiums, and they'd allow you to stock the lounges before the game. The big ice chest full of beer, meat to grill, phenomenal. I mean, the left field stuff is pretty cool with all the grills and the beers and whatnot. But again, not the time.
I think that's what a lot of people are looking for from the box, is just more freedom, I guess.
A fun outfield.
Like, you have bleachers, and a lot of times you fill those bleachers, and so it's butts and seats, but people want to have the option to be able to do things like we're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of people have these setups where you can kind of walk around and socialize and interact with one another. And granted, at State, it's cool how it did it, because it was something organic and kind of bespoke, where people would have these kind of makeshift rickety platforms that they would build in the left field lounge, and then they did the very rare that almost never works. They corporatized it, but it actually worked, where then they took it over and they kept the spirit of it, while, you know, now they're like actual buildings with codes and whatnot. But it seems like they kind of maintained somehow that spirit of it. So, but like, yeah, it's like you see Ole Miss, and they got like the beer showers and people hanging out and walking around. Even you go to Tiger Park and you see the families like laid out.
Yes.
Like
In the outfield, yeah.
there's ways to make it work for sure. But where's that on the priority list, right? You have the LEDs coming to Tiger Stadium. There's always talk of the new PMAC, which, by the way, that ordinance did get passed.
Yep.
On the River Center. So, a step forward.
Feels like it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the momentum, at least right now. We know that can change here in the state.
I agree. It's just how close do you land to those original beautiful renderings? Like, you're getting
Love
a
renderings.
new PMAC.
Love some
yes.
good renderings.
Somebody who works in legislative realm, and it sees a lot of renderings, said yes, renderings are beautiful lies, and that's generally how they tend to go. But who knows? You know, shoot for the moon, all that stuff. But
Zachary points out inside the Bayou 4 chat, let's get some bullpens first, and he's right, and that's happening.
Mhm.
That is going to happen. They've already announced that.
Champ says that we broke down the Bananas game. Well, we did Thursday because Taylor was there, but I don't think anybody else made it to the Bananas over the weekend, right?
No, I wasn't here.
Shout out to my guy Big John, who wanted to go, and his family didn't want to go with him, so he just went alone. Just go to the Bananas game solo dolo, just to experience it. Now, he said he met up with friends, but I like the idea more of just sitting amongst complete strangers alone and just showing, hey, I'm just here for the Bananas, boys. Showing up in a party animal
No different
shirt.
than going to the movies by yourself.
And I love going to movies by
I
myself.
do too.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, going for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they were a massive hit, though. Everybody, I've heard nothing but positive things. Also, I saw that person on stilts. You saw them bat the other day, right?
Yeah,
Taylor,
they bat
bat
and ran to first, almost beat out the throw.
I also got a video sent to me of them pitching later in the week and actually throwing a strike on stilts.
What did you see there? Did you see the Bananas uniforms on Saturday?
No.
You would have loved them. They had Irish kilts on.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, sorry. I saw a picture of it. I saw it. The kilts are back in Baton Rouge.
Kim Mulkey threw out the first pitch out.
How'd it go?
Saturday one.
Good. Had some movement.
She got
really.
It was actually a good first pitch, and then she got tossed out the game
for arguing that it was a strike.
Oh, that's a great bit. That's a great bit. I am who I am.
What's funny? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What's funny is Michelle went to it, so she posted a video of it on Eagles' Facebook page, and there's people in the comments actually thinking that she was actually being for real, yelling at the ump, and I'm like,
oh my god, dude.
Come on, guys.
Well, think about the ump at the
This is a
Bananas game being
Savannah
so
Bananas.
serious. Yeah.
Right.
That
the same ump that twerks in between batters and
Right.
stuff.
He was the best part of the show. The dancing ump. was
Really,
best
the
part.
guy with the beard, the kind of stocky little dude with the beard.
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
He's just electric.
He was a really good dancer too. So they'll be doing the dancing bits and everything, and
It's so
the
dumb.
umpire joins in. He's awesome.
Yeah, that guy
the fact
tossed
that there's
out
people
somebody seriously.
dumb enough to think that was serious
Oh, yeah.
angers me.
And people are like, oh.
How are you that ignorant?
No
Kim
class.
Mulkey breaks people's brains, dude.
But how are you that ignorant
I
to
don't
think
know.
that was real?
I don't know. Kim Mulkey breaks people's brains. I don't understand it. I don't understand all I mean, it's like when we talked about the other day, right? The same people who purport to be champions of feminism and female sports are out here treating it like it's like Little League or something.
Yep.
With the pearl clutching after a couple shoves in a game. So we need an adult in the room. No, you need to shut the hell up. It's basketball, nerds. Okay.
And they're not mad at the
Let it
actual
bang!
person that shoved somebody to the ground. They're mad
Just
at
not
Kim
at all.
Mulkey.
Yeah, the person that did the shoving.
I'm
all
not even,
good.
bro, and I'm not mad at Cardozo.
I'm not either, but I'm
Again.
saying if you're going to be mad
Well, yeah,
at
we talked about it.
somebody,
You and I
like-
both did that in
Yeah.
the game and got 15-yard
Let
penalties.
it bang, dude. It's
Yeah,
sport.
agreed,
that-
100%.
Gosh.
I what I do love is I think it's lit a fire under this LSU team's
Yes.
ass. I think they are hungry to accept the heel roll. Like we said,
It's going to be a fight.
Let them be the heel.
It's going to be a fight. They are in soccer terms, they're in the group of death.
Are they
I
really?
kinda like
Is that
that.
because UCLA?
They've got Iowa and UCLA, yes.
I mean, you knew
And
you were
Kansas
always going to
State's
run
a
into a
good
one
4.
seed. Okay.
So, when you look at South Carolina, and again,
Good.
regular season, you're undefeated. You've earned the right. But a lot of people thought that Iowa would get the second easiest. There's never an easy, but the second easiest. No. That's a group of death.
It's like what Rorschach says in Watchmen. Look, you got it backwards, okay? I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Get him, Angel. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $7,500 off MSRP on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks. $7,500 off plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off the new 23 Ram 1500 SCA truck. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $22,500 off the new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
More while supplies last. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 through 3/20. Selection varies by location.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price, with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate with autopay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. If you're watching online, please hit the like button, y'all. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. Have a ton of fun in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat today. I just saw the Mulkey video. That was a great, first off, really good first pitch. Actually, I mean, really slung that thing. And granted, being Kramer's mom, got to hold it down for the baseball portion of the family. But then pretty good acting on the arguing as well, until you start break a little bit like an SNL skit at the end. But that was fantastic. Jake, we're not going to spend too long here. We debated the merits of it on Friday. The NCAA has approved a 14-team playoff. We haven't have a 12 yet, but now we know that we'll have a 12 for 2 years, and it's going to move to 14. 3 automatic qualifiers for the SEC, 3 for the Big Ten, 2 for the Big 12, 2 for the ACC, and then 1 Group of 5, 3 at large. You also have an uneven revenue distribution in which the biggest conferences will be getting more money in the SEC and the Big Ten. I had an interesting personal journey with this. Where do you end up landing?
I don't like it. I think it's too many automatic qualifiers. I think that you should get rewarded for winning your conference, and that should be the automatic qualifier. Then you've got to put your resume together to get into a playoff, right? Because if you don't win your conference, you've got to have something that makes you different than others. But if you have all these automatic qualifiers, think about it. Like, you're going to get a team that finishes third in their conference, and they automatically get into the postseason.
So I was with you. My initial reaction was I hate it, but I kind of came around and I think I kind of like it. And now I feel you. The thing it does cheapen is winning the conference. Like, I think at this point you have to get rid of conference championship games. Mm-hmm. They really mean nothing to me. 12, they still have value. 14, you've gone too far. But I do like the fact that it's not going to be the playoff committee telling me who they think is best. It's just, no, you finished third in your conference, like with your conference record, you're in. It is the actual play on the field deciding that. And I feel like, down the stretch, how these NFL divisional games carry so much weight, I think it would be pretty fun to maybe have now LSU plays Ole Miss early on, but whatever, those are two teams that let's say you randomly play Mizzou one year and it's LSU-Mizzou and the winner will get in. You're going to create some nice regular season intrigue there.
Yeah, but you'll lose something in the regular season. There'll be a little bit of juice. I think.
That's what I keep going back. That was what I initially thought, but as I think about it more, I don't know. I just don't like how many automatically get in. Like 2 ACC teams, there wasn't 2 this year that deserved to be in a playoff. So, and where I landed on that was I'm with you. I thought it cheapened it. I hated it, but if it's that or we break the sport apart. If that's the olive branch that the big guys gave to the little guys to get them to take the revenue distribution, which they'll be getting significantly less money, I'm like, okay, I would rather at least keep the facade of college football up for a little bit longer than just hurdle straight into the Super League.
And also something else, why are we not just seeing how this 12 thing plays out? Let's give it some time. We gave 4 some time, 2014 until this last year. So why are we not letting that breathe a little bit just to see, hey, let's give it 3 years and see how it works out.
I think that's just the market factors.
Again, where are we going to stop?
I know. I feel that, but I think the why on not letting it breathe is because they had that TV deal agreed to in principle with ESPN, right? Where it's going from, what was it, $600 million to $1.3 billion a year. And ESPN was threatening and saying, look, if y'all don't come to an agreement, we're taking the offer off the table. And they were all, I guess they all jumped at, no, we need some sort of security and solidity. And again, it seems like those lesser conferences kind of seeing the writing on the wall. Yeah, I think they really valued those automatic qualifiers, to your point, to the point where they accepted less money and they even accepted one less spot. If anything else, this 14-team playoff setup shows you that we've all been kind of trying to pretend in theory the conferences are equal. This basically shows you that, no, we're all saying they're not now at this point.
I don't know, if I'm Florida State or Clemson or one of those teams that's, still relevant in college football, how okay I am with the conference that I play and getting left out of the college football playoff a year ago, going undefeated and still getting left off, and then going into a new system where the conference I play in gets less than anybody else.
Yeah, I know. But, how pumped are you if you're Kansas State or Utah or Kansas? You in here, baby. You got this. Just go top 2. That's all you got to do. But again, you can't have conference championships anymore, right? Why would you want to play
again,
that
though,
game?
It's too big. Too much money in that weekend. They're going to continue to do it.
It's just going to feel like such a why are we doing this sort of feel, unfortunately. Okay, hour 2 in the books, hour 3 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, y'all. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. That's right. PECbuilt.com. Now, any outdoor construction needs, your pergolas, fences, bulkheads, outdoor kitchens, they do it all, and it's incredible. But I want to talk to you about the pools. You go to Pinnacle today, you choose a spec pool, right, where there's a bunch of different templates that you choose from, and then you do some detail work around the edges. You make the pool your own. And then, y'all, whether you finance it, buy it up front, whatever, in 2 weeks, you have a pool. So if you've been putting it off, the time is now. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com.
Y'all, this is not lip service. Like we promised you, I have seen it too many times in my own neighborhood. They are in, they are out, and you have a new pool. And when you're deciding between which pool, you have multiple options. There's not just one. Multiple options. PECbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Monday, March 18th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 64. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have weekend winners at 9 a.m. and then Devon Snow joins the show at 9:15. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB, hour number 3. Freaking Bulldogs. Damn it. Let's dive in to some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
My first weekend winner. Gotta go to my guy, Big Z. Zion Williamson. Boys, have you seen the stat lines lately? So the Pels, winners of 3 of the last 4. Zion dropped 27, 33, 34, 26. In that uber important game against the Clips on Friday night, Skelikins uniform, he goes with 34, 7 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, only 3 turnovers. 10 boards against the Blazers, actually getting double-double there. I mentioned Atlanta the other day, 27 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, 2 blocks. Like, he is stuffing the stat sheet. Point Zion is a real thing. It's an excellent thing. And how about this? Maybe the most important numbers of all, boys. Here are the minutes. 36, 35, 35, 34. Zion Williamson on fire right now. Pels on fire. Most important portion of the season. Let's go Skelikins. First weekend winner, Big Z, Zion Williamson.
I'm going to go first weekend winner. I think Malik Neighbors just solidified himself as a top 5 pick.
What happened now?
The Chargers traded Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
To the Chicago Bears. They released Mike Williams. And so it feels like they are going full-on receiver 1. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be there unless the Cardinals trade out of number 4. It feels like the Cardinals are going to select him at number 4. Now, I think Neighbors is a better player than Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a good player. I just think Malik Neighbors is better.
Yeah.
And I think that Malik Neighbors is going to be the choice. Maybe I'm trying to will this into the ether.
Yeah, it sounds a little,
but I
little
feel
bit.
like
Why not, though? Why
if
not?
Marvin Harrison Jr. goes 4th overall to the Cardinals, the Chargers are now firmly taking a receiver at number 5, and that receiver is going to be Malik Neighbors. And so my weekend winner is going to be Keenan Allen. Also, shout out to Keenan Allen. The Chargers tried to get him to take a discount. He's like, I just had my best year of my career. I don't care how old I am. They tried to get him to take a discount. He said, I'm not doing that. And so they trade him to the Chicago Bears. And Chicago Bears, DeAndre Swift, they sign him in free agency, right? They get a receiver that's coming off his best year in Keenan Allen. They've got DJ Moore. They're going to draft Caleb Williams. All right, a little froggy there.
Yeah, it's there's like they're really trying to set up whoever this next quarterback's going to be. You know, I don't know if I don't know that it's great. It's weird. I mean, when's the last time Chicago had a good quarterback, actually?
I mean, Jay Cutler had some decent years.
No. But I mean,
bad
like,
body
I mean,
language.
like,
Jay is not getting that.
No, sorry. I don't mean like Kirk Cousins good. I mean like.
Oh, there he goes.
No, but I mean like a bona fide, like, oh, like that's like one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league.
Look,
they've never
not in
had
my
it in my lifetime.
In our lifetime, T-Bob, as far as success and team success, Rex Grossman's their best
exactly.
quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. They made the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman, who was really nothing to write home about. So they haven't been able to. Will the curse finally get broken? Maybe. But yeah, the Bears, at least they're trying to amass weapons.
Even Jim McMahon wasn't setting the world on fire as far as stats when he led. It was the defense.
Yeah.
In our lifetime, Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback for a long time. Steve Walsh, I know a name that you know very well.
Yeah.
T-Bob, Eric Kramer, Shane Matthews, Cade McNown. Whoa, forgot about you as a human. Jim Miller, Cordell Stewart, Craig Krenzel from Ohio State, Cal Orton in 2005. Then you had Grossman, and then bad body language Jay, and then Matt Barkley, and then your boy Mitchell Trubisky, and then Justin Fields. So, Jim McMahon.
Woof. That is up there with Cleveland. Except just not talked about nearly as much because they had more team success at times during that era.
I'm trying to find.
That is a big woof. Have they ever had good quarterbacks?
During 2004, Craig Krenzel started 5 games. Chad Hutchinson started 5 games. You'll remember him from the Cowboys. Jonathan Quinn started 3 games, and Rex Grossman started 3 games.
Sexy Rexy.
Whoa. That might be the worst year of starting quarterback play in the history of the NFL. 2004 Chicago Bears.
You think Kyle Orton's listening to the show right now?
I don't think he lives here anymore.
What?
I think he moved.
Damn.
Mike Glennon started 4 games.
Shout
in
out Kyle
2017.
Orton, just in case, you know?
Yeah, shout out Kyle Orton, just in case.
Here's a fun
shout
fact
out Mike
for you,
Glennon's
T-Bob.
neck. I mean, from the neck beard and Kyle Orton to the longest neck in the game and Mike Glennon.
Yep.
If Justin Jefferson retired today, he would be the Chicago Bears' all-time leading receiver in terms of yards.
So they've literally never
by
had
700 yards.
They've never had overwhelming quarterback play in their history.
No.
At any point. Wow. Okay, maybe this will change.
I mean, I'm looking. No. Like, the last time they had a guy start more than like a handful of years in a row was Sid Luckman from 1939 to 1948.
Okay, but Luckman was like a Hall of Famer, right? Like, he was an actual beast. So that's how far you got to go back, nearly 100 years.
Yeah.
Shout out Sid.
Say Sid.
Sid the Kid.
Yeah.
Never forget him.
Pro Football Hall of Fame
Dynamism.
and College Football Hall of Fame. He played for
Electric.
Columbia. NFL stats. NFL Hall of Famer, I'll remind you, 137 passing touchdowns, 132 interceptions.
Positive ratio from Sid the Kid.
Yep.
But shout out, he was, someone who served in the Marine Corps in World War II. So shout out, Sid.
Shout out.
Legend.
Probably,
Shout out
I would
Sid.
assume, took a break during that time from football.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he played during the...
No, I'm saying like, and then came back after. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
oh, yeah, probably. I would-
yeah, no,
I
he
don't
did.
know.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Shout out Sid. All right,
Shout out Sid.
Yeah.
Sid the Kid.
Sid the Kid.
My first weekend winner. This happened on Thursday, but it's just a kind of a feel good story.
Yeah,
so
don't play.
Mark Coleman. He was the first ever UFC heavyweight champ. So last week there was a house fire at his house. His parents live with him. His dog woke him up.
Oh, yes.
He ran out the house, went back and saved his parents from the house, but he was in a medically induced coma after that happened. He woke up from his coma on Thursday.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the dog didn't make it, but everybody in the house survived except for the dog.
Yeah, but the dog saved
But-
everybody's lives.
Yes, because the dog woke up Mark. So shout out Mark Coleman. Hopefully his road to recovery is a good one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
A real hero.
Smoke inhalation. Literal
Yeah.
hero. Saved his parents. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Taylor, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go weekend winner Kevin Keats, the head coach for the NC State basketball team. They won the ACC tournament this weekend, but the significance of that is that Kevin Keats was actually on the hot seat coming into this game. They had a veteran team, but they had kind of an up and down season, so they win that tournament. Here's what happens now that they win that tournament. These were his contract stipulations. Kevin Keats now triggered an automatic 2-year contract extension.
Oh,
he gets a
let's go.
$400,000 raise, which will begin next season. He'll also receive a $100,000 bonus for winning the conference title and make at least $10,000 for appearing in the NCAA tournament. So he went from being on the hot seat to winning the ACC tournament and almost $600,000 in raises.
Ooh, attaboy.
With a
Say
2-year
now.
contract
Say,
extension.
Hell yes, dude. That's the good
Workout.
stuff. I got to be honest, guys. I don't have a great. I've kind of forgot about weekend winners today.
Weekend winner.
You do the
I have one more,
bananas for
too.
coming back and taking the series against the party
Sure.
animals.
Weekend winner. Shout out to Will Wade and McNeese.
Yes.
They earn a 12 seed, which is like for a mid-major, certainly coming out of the Southland Conference, like a 12.
That's crazy.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, typically you see them 14, 15. They got a 12 seed, and you know who they play in round number 1? The Gonzaga Bulldogs, who got a number 5 seed. I know. You know.
I'm rooting for Will.
Classic
12-5. You know Will's my boy.
I'm rooting for Will.
Who are you going for?
It's tough.
Ooh.
It's tough.
Jake.
You don't know nobody on Gonzaga.
I know, and it's the state of Louisiana. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We're gonna
Trust
have
me.
to ship your ass up
But
to Washington.
honestly,
Shema
if
to
McNeese wins that
Washington.
game, wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah.
So if they win that game, it would set up a 4-13 matchup between Kansas and Samford, and Samford's salty as well. We could get a 12-13 McNeese-Samford to go to the Sweet 16.
Is that like a Dropkick Murphys thing you were doing there?
Yeah,
Like
it
ship it
was.
up to Washington?
Yeah.
So shout out to
It's a
Will
weird
Wade
joke.
McNeese.
Shout out
Yeah,
Will Wade.
shout out Will Wade. I have one more. Kelly Lynch, she had her third complete shutout game of the season on Saturday in softball's win over Ole Miss 2-0. So I know we
We still have to talk softball. We
yeah.
need to touch it. We can get to it after Holden Mayo for sure.
Yeah, but she had her third complete shutout game of the season on Saturday. She's 4-0 on the season too. So Kelly Lynch, a freaking beast, along with Sydney Burzon. But
Yeah, and shout out to the softball team. Yes, they end up dropping one yesterday, so the undefeated streak is at an end. But still, the incredible start to the season. Rubber match today. Let's hope that this rubber match goes a bit better than baseball's did. Taylor? What you got?
Last one. So sticking with the Louisiana basketball themes. Grambling State, they claimed their first ever SWAC tournament title yesterday. They defeated defending champ Texas Southern. While the reason that's important, well, Grambling's headed to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history.
Wow.
So shout out to the Grambling Tigers.
Two teams out of Louisiana, make the NCAA tournament.
Not LSU.
And probably not the ones that you thought, because LSU, Tulane, Louisiana Tech is a team in the Conference USA and plays a high level of basketball. So, not those
and
teams.
Grambling, coming into the tournament, they're 20-14 on the year. So, they were a long shot to win this tournament. They had to win about 5 games in 5 days to get this done.
Let's go, dude. Big time weekend winner there. Okay, last one. Weekend winner. It's very sad. On Friday, I put Gerald down, my cat, 15 years. First animal I'd ever had that long that I put down, but, so thoughtful. Jake sent me Chinese food. Alondra sent me crumble cookies. It was very humbling, very eye-opening, because I'm not thoughtful like that. I'd never think about doing stuff like that. And Taylor sent me nothing. So, Taylor, you are a weekend loser. I hope you're happy. As I was sitting there crying, at least I had some delicious, tasty food to make me feel a bit better. Only you were nowhere to be found, Taylor. Way to go, dude. Way to go.
Hey, I made the list. I was on the list.
On the weekend, you're on the weekend loser. You're the weekend loser. They're the weekend winners. There you go. That was very kind, guys. It was very, very kind.
I just hope that your typical Chinese food, when you take it in, you're also doing something else you love. So I don't know what you were doing when you ate it, but typically, that is a comfort food for you.
Yeah, we were watching. We finished our Harry Potter watch. We've been working through it for a few weeks now, and we finally Friday night finished with the kids the last couple of movies. So yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Certainly.
The theme of this weekend, winner loser. Taylor sucks.
Yeah, Taylor sucks, exactly. I mean, to be honest, that's also I never think about doing stuff like that, so I'm just more impressed with yours and Alondra's thoughtfulness. And thank you to everybody who reached out, because a ton of people did. It was really, really sweet. All right, when we get back, hold the mail. Coming up next, TV Log, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
K-to-Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. Let Brandon Barty get out to your home and take your home to the next level, okay? And look, there's nothing more important than your home. It's your greatest asset that you have, if you're lucky enough to own one. And I don't care if it's a starter home or the home of your dreams, there's a price point, and there's something that K-to-Z can do for you to make it better, man. Maybe it's an outdoor living space. Maybe it's kind of temperature controlled. Maybe it's light controlled. Maybe it's just aesthetic. But at the end of the day, again, you're going to get both aesthetics and function. K-to-Z window coverings. Check them out today. KTOZblinds.com.
When you go to that website, you'll see what we're talking about. So many different options. That's interior and exterior. I have now had both in my home. They put the shade out there in the back, and had no idea that it would actually shade the living room as well while we're trying to watch games during the day. It does that. Got the Roman shade there in the kitchen. I mean, easy process, quick process. Go to the website today, KTOZblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Sup, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. It's Monday Night Hadim, which means it's time to talk to our guy, Hold the Mayo, Devon Snow, HCMsports.com/shop to get all your merch. RB&R Day today. Devon, what's happening, bro?
Yeah, what's up? Sorry about the cat, dude.
It's all good, man. Thank you. No, it's very kind. It's very kind. I feel bad because it's kind of like, you know, I've had a lot of friends who have put down animals that they've beloved, and like I've always done the same thing of, you know, reaching out and, you know, I'm really sorry, man. I'm here if you need me. But I didn't maybe quite realize how emotional some of that stuff can be until you actually go through it for the first time. So it's very kind. But it's definitely go ahead.
Worst thing that ever happened to me. I mean, when I lost my dog, it was the worst, still to this day, worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Hands down. It was the worst, bro. So
but it's been very nice getting, you know, a lot of emotional love and support from the homies and friends and everything. So that was a nice silver lining to everything, certainly. Deb, a lot to get to over the weekend. But first off, brah, how about them Skeletons? The boys getting it done in the blender, packed house, making the people believe.
Yeah, I went Wednesday night and it just didn't work out. But I mean, after that, you know, I've been saying, bro, people keep saying they're worried about the Clippers. Dude, I'm not worried about the Clippers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to getting in the playoffs, you know, a team that I would not, don't get me wrong, we're going to play whoever and we're going to try to win. But a team I wouldn't want to see is like OKC, you know, or, you know, one of them really hot teams. The Clippers, bro, it's the same old dudes that are questionable going into the game. Like, this is the same old Clippers stuff. So I was ready for them, and I'm so glad the Pelicans took care of business. Zion is Zion, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got ESPN, big media, putting the highlight tapes, and you could just tell, bro. You could feel it, man. The playoffs are near, and it's just something about New Orleans when it's a situation like New Orleans basketball playoffs. I just can't wait, bro. I'm so excited.
It does definitely feel like a different Pelicans team, and we've had good teams over the last couple of years. We've had teams that have made the play-in, and you get excited about them. But we're breaking it down, like Zion right now, like he's healthy, one, but he's playing at his peak. And then like just Trey off the bench, Jose off the bench, Larry Nance off the bench. It feels like this is the best roster for postseason success that I remember in recent memory and really any memory for New Orleans basketball.
No doubt. Said it last night. This is hard for me to say, man. I love that 2017 so much.
Yeah.
Like some of the best memories of my life. But this, us, top to bottom, is the most talented Pelicans team. This is the most talented New Orleans basketball team we've ever had. So the sky is so the limit, and people don't even maybe realize like how far the Pelicans may go, man. It might be really crazy.
Yeah, you're starting to see people wake up a bit, and it's just it's so adaptable. It could be Zion's night, it could be Ingram's night, it could be CJ's night, it could be Trey Murphy's night, and so on and so forth. Oh, how do we not open with this? Nathan Peterman signing with the Saints. How about it? Let's go, boys. Forget about James. It's time for Nathan.
I know we all been here before. You get drunk and you wake up and you got like one crinkly or two crinkly dollar bills in your pocket. You don't even know how it happened. It just that's what the Saints went up to free agency with. You know what I'm saying? They're like, here you go, Nathan. We got one crinkly dollar for you, dude. You know what I'm saying? Come, we need you to not be good because we don't want to mess up Derek's head. So we need to play Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman on Madden, he's a 50 overall, bro. I mean, you can't. It's hard to find bad talent like this. It's hard.
So. I mean, I know the exact bills that you're talking about, and it happens when you're really drunk and you get some sort of change, and it's a random pocket that you jammed it into. Maybe it's a back pocket, maybe it's on the inside of a jacket pocket, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, you put that jacket back on. You're like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, look what I found out. Just a couple bucks.
Yeah, it's like usually the dollar might be like sitting next to like a kind of semi-broken Parliament cigarette. That is the dollar. That's the dollar that the Saints went to free agency with, bro. Come on, man. Round of applause. Nathan Peterman, Stanley Morgan, shout out New Orleans town, but we don't know anything other than that. You know what I'm saying? And then Willie Gay, which was my favorite one. If I'm being honest, Willie Gay, that's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing, you got a Super Bowl champ. It's a 1-year deal. So, Willie Gay's, I guess, the only signing with a pulse, really. That is kind of funny to think about. So you think that the Saints, they're so obsessed with Derek Carr, they didn't want to make him uncomfortable by bringing in anybody too good, so they hired a guy who I think has like 13 picks and like 120 career passes?
Well, I mean, come on, bro. Like, this is so unserious, right? Because in today's NFL, what is definitely most likely probably like over 80% going to happen? Your backup's going to need to come in for whether it's a half. I mean, we saw it last year. Derek Carr had several halves that he didn't finish.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that Nathan Peterman, like, we're going to have to watch this dude play football unless we get somebody else.
Well, maybe Hainer.
Hainer
could grow. Hainer was a rookie, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
Like, I'll allow a young guy room to grow. So maybe they're hoping that. I mean, I'm sure they're right, Jake. They're hoping that Hainer beats him out.
I would hope so. You spent a 4th-round pick on him. You didn't spend like a flyer 7th round. Like a 4th-round pick. When you talk to NFL teams, like even a 3rd rounder is supposed to be a starter at some point in his rookie year.
His rookie year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
And 4th round, though, like it's somebody like is expected to live the life of his contract, a 4-year contract. So that's nothing. It's not nothing that they spent on him. And so this is a player that you're counting on. And Nathan Peterman, he has some of the worst stats in NFL history if you look at the analytics.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. Again, he's only attempted like 100, barely over 100 passes, and he's thrown 13 picks.
Yeah.
It's
one of, right now, like looking from afar, it's one of the worst quarterback rooms in the NFL, if not the worst.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. Give it to
me. Hell yeah, right? Hey, if I'm Jake Hainer, it's a good point. If I'm Jake Hainer, bro, like, dude, I had a party over the weekend because, like, I'm definitely going to I got to be the second QB, bro. My whole life's on the line at this point. Like, if I'm Jake Hainer, dude, I have to beat out Nathan Peterman, no doubt.
I mean, look, I think they're going to be better than the Saints probably because they just seem to always win. But there is also something deeply funny about the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason where they were like, okay, give me Arthur Smith, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, baby. I mean, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Pittsburgh just throwing crap at the wall thinking something's got to stick, dude.
I just don't. My thing is like, I know we don't have a lot of money and all that, but man, we couldn't get backup. We couldn't get Sam Darnold, anybody but to go so low to Nathan Peterman and do it pretty quickly. It's like they expected us to be like, oh wow, Nathan Peterman. You know what I'm saying? Glad we got.
But no, he was the there's two connections there. He was I think he was Artie Carr's backup in Oakland, maybe.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so it's another.
They love everything that touched Oakland and Derek Carr.
It is one of the oddest team building strategies I've ever seen, where they continue to amass pieces of one of the most dysfunctional teams we've ever seen. And those old Dennis Allen Raider teams, they just continue to get the band back together. Also, Steve Janocko, I think, was with Peterman the last couple of years in Chicago, maybe. Yeah. So there were a couple connections to bringing Peterman in.
And hey, we just talked about it. What an awesome franchise to grab a quarterback from, right? The Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
We got to go back to the 30s. We over here talking about Kyle Orton, pretty good. Yeah. Okay. He beat the Saints. Kyle Orton beat the Saints. Don't forget in that playoff game in the NFC Championship. I mean, he had to play that game, I believe, because I think Rex Grossman was out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to end up paying Nathan Peterman, but to Dev's point, Drew Lock, $5 million. Mason Rudolph, he got $2.8 million. Josh Johnson, I'd rather have Josh Johnson. He made $1.3 million. Easton Stick just signed back with the Chargers. He started a couple games, wasn't that bad. I'd rather have him if I'm the Saints than Nathan Peterman as my backup.
What's the league minimum at Peterman's? It's got to be over $1 million, right?
I would assume it's probably 1.2. I would assume with his years of service.
Does that make you angry that Nathan Peterman's going to get $1.2 million?
Which that's a little bit less than the most I ever made, hitting all of my incentives. Yes, it does.
That's not they giving that dude some season passes to Jazzland, bro. They ain't, what I'm saying? There ain't no way they're gonna pay that dude $1.2 million, bro. But we'll see, man. It's just it's unfortunate because look at those names you just mentioned. It's just crazy, bro. Drew Lock. Man, Drew Lock just sounds so much more exciting than Nathan Peterman.
Well, Drew Lock's had his moments, dude. Drew Lock was tight in college. He had the big heartwarming story last year where he had the big touchdown to DK to win that game and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What else is on spread lines this weekend? I'm sorry, Alondra, I haven't given you a chance to talk UFC yet. Did anything go down at UFC over the weekend?
There's a UFC Vegas, but it's not a huge fight.
Okay.
UFC 300, it's not till April 14th.
Okay, cool. What about you, Dev? What else is on the spread lines this weekend?
I went to St. Patrick's Day. It was down in the Irish town in New Orleans. I didn't get to watch UFC, but I watched it the day after. It was nothing special, but St. Patrick's Day in New Orleans was a unbelievably just amazing time. And dude, there's nothing going on here other than everybody's starting to shift their focus to the Pelicans, dude. Yeah. That's just what it is. You can tell when you go to the games, it's just a different feeling.
Is there any?
It's going to be amazing.
Is there any LSU baseball breakthrough in the ether over there, or no?
I try to keep up with them, especially right now, at this time of the year, because it's hard to find something to watch.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say,
I'm talking more boots on the ground,
because
you're walking around in Baton Rouge and it's on the tip of everybody's tongue. It's the SEC play, you're losing a state. I didn't know if people were talking about the channel over there.
No, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
Look, they were going to put it up last week on Twitter. If the MLB team would come to New Orleans, I'd be the first to tell you, I would go to so many games. I love going to baseball games. Never really had a bad time. Even at Zephyrs games back in the day. But just for whatever reason, it's hard. For it to be the tip of conversation, it's hard down here, man. It's not even me. I like baseball.
Bro, I imagine there had to be a ton of Hold the Mayo fans at the parade this weekend. How was it?
Oh man, it's always something
I know
else,
it's
bro.
weird to have
You
to
know,
talk
just-
about yourself, but I feel like you're in your P1s there at that parade.
Well, you know what it is that I'm still the same dude. When I've been going to St. Patrick's thing well before I was doing this channel also. So people see me, bro, and they see me in a pretty shitty form. It's very I'm buzzed up and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes I gotta stop. I have beer spilled all over my shirt and stuff, and sometimes I gotta stop and think, and dude, I just took 20 pictures. You know what I'm saying? I go see somebody post on it. I go see somebody tag me on the internet. And I'm looking at my face. I'm like, damn, boy, you hammered. It's just.
Hey, just do what I do. Just stop caring. Just let it go. Eventually, it is what it is, dude.
I just don't
bro,
care.
You know where we need to get down to sometime, and I know it's rich me saying this because I still haven't managed to get over spread quarters yet, the pod, which is going to happen. But I want to go to a NOLA Gold game sometime. I want to go watch a little rugby at the gold mine on Airline, dude. That looks like a very good time.
Shout out to NOLA Gold, man. They've been trying to get me there for 4 years, dude.
Yeah.
So I want to go.
We gotta go.
You
know who does their video now? You know who does their video now too? Our boy Benny.
Danny.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you know who they remind me? It reminds me of when the Pelicans used to call me before we got Zion. Pelicans used to call me, this dude Dave, bro. He used to call me all the time and try to get me to buy tickets. And I'll never forget when the Pelicans drafted Zion, you could not get in touch with David, bro. You couldn't get him on the phone. He called me for years and just couldn't get in touch with him after that. It's so funny. Yeah, hey, I see him now. He's got a way better position. He's dressed up nice, and I'm just bro, David.
Oh man, hey Dev, what do we got? What do we got going on in spread quarters this week?
We got RB and All Day 201 today, so a new start.
Congrats on 200, by the way. Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it. And then what else we got going on, man? I know I'm getting ready. I'm gonna throw a big draft party for the NFL draft, so I'm about to start planning that. And I'm working on Respect Your Body. That's supposed to drop by April 1st. Not an April's Fool joke, but the Respect Your Body light beer is supposed to drop by April 1st by Avita.
Let's go,
so,
dude.
Working on that.
Respect Your Body. Be on the lookout for it. Shout out Dev, atmsports.com/shop. You want any of that RB&R merch. Dev, thank you so much, brother.
All right, I'll take care of it going.
See you, Dev.
All right, holla, man. Hey, I do want to remind you, RejuveMeMedical.com, Restore Me, Refuel Me, Rejuve Me. You want to feel younger, bigger, stronger, faster, better, the energy you used to have when you were a young, spry whippersnapper, hopping out of bed, rolling into bed even after long days. Look, if you're not feeling yourself, yes, that is normal, but it's also treatable. These are the untreated effects of aging. And that's what's so funny is we do all sorts of upkeep on our homes, on our vehicles, on all these other, computers, all these other facets of our life. But with our bodies, we're like, oh, we just work out and whatever. And, that's all you can do. No, that's not all you can do. You can go to Rejuve Me. You can go get your labs drawn, see where your body's deficient, what it needs, where it's strong as well, right? And let Rejuve Me customize a plan for you to get you to your best self and where you want to be. So recapture that youthful, energetic feeling with Rejuve Me. Restore Me, refuel me, rejuve me, RejuveMeMedical.com. All right, when we get back, Joey, can this guy not afford a good internet connection? Bro, it's on Cox, bro.
It's like a thing with
I don't
them.
understand
We all
it.
know. We know.
Dev's been battling Cox to the hilt for years. Still, it's so wild how that works.
Yeah, my Cox internet, $180 something a month for the best, and it's not the best.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's why I went somebody else in my office for my afternoon show. Couldn't count on them.
Get it together, guys. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. You want the most reliable, the most respected, most complete roofing company in Louisiana? You want Coleman. My bad, I jumped the gun here, Taylor, if you want to switch that over. We're talking Coleman, not cars. But look.
They got cool trucks, though. They got Coleman stickers on them.
That is true.
Around town.
I see them around town all the time.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
But you want a company where they're going to fight for you, man, and they can handle any size project, commercial, residential, any type of roof, anywhere in the Gulf South region, and they do the interior. So like during all these recent storms, you're going to need drywall leaks, insulation problems, anything else. Not only do they fix the leak, but they fix that water damage on the inside as well. They're the best. Coleman Roofing and Construction.
Yeah, once you get that website, you'll see exactly what T-Bob's talking about. Truly a one-stop shop, can handle anything that you need throughout the state of Louisiana. Find out that number in your area at colemanroof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. DA, losing a state was painful as... Yeah, it was. It was. But now you got the Gators coming to town, man. And while that is both a bit scary because it's Caglione and company. How'd they look against A&M this weekend, by the way? I still haven't. We'll do a full SEC scoreboard wrap-up tomorrow. I didn't get to do it like I planned on doing it today. That's on me. But what did they sweep? Give me some Gators A&M
I think they went 2-1.
Okay.
I'll confirm that.
Yeah,
they did.
Aggies dropped series.
Yeah, they went 2-1 this weekend. I was trying to think of the score line. The only teams that got swept, Georgia and Mizzou and Auburn. So 3 teams got swept, Georgia, Mizzou, and Auburn. Everybody else won at least one game.
Surprising, given that Georgia and A&M were kind of some of the preseason darlings coming out of this pre-conference play,
coming
where Florida
into it
was supposed to have
17
struggled.
Was 17-1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And A&M, I think, was as well.
Now, Missouri's not good. Auburn was 13-3. Like Missouri's 9-11 overall. They're just they're the only like bad baseball team in the SEC.
Had a great weekend. LSU gymnastics. Shout out, another 198 for gymnastics, beating North Carolina. Selling out the PMAC 3 weeks in a row. Should have been in my weekend winners. That is the first time that has ever happened in school history. And it was senior night, meaning, Haley Bryant and others being honored. But obviously, like we keep telling you, Haley Bryant, the GOAT. A literal like Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, right here this year. And now, coming up this Saturday, they're going to New Orleans for the SEC championship. For the SEC championships. That's cool. It's going to be in New Orleans. They are the top seed. It's going to be at 7 Central on Saturday. Where would that be in New Orleans? That'd be in the Smoothie King Center.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be awesome, dude. That'll be a lot of fun. So look forward to that for sure.
That'd have been a heck of a trip. Gosh, I got to go back to the Port City again this weekend for my football camp. 16th year of doing
Hell yeah. Congrats,
the football
dude.
camp.
That's what's up. Giving back.
So back-to-back weekends in the Port City, but I would have loved to go on and even covered that SEC championship down in NOLA. That'd been fun.
And look, for this LSU gymnastics team, it's not fair, but they're so good that this is how they operate. They go on that amazing run last year where they're injured to all hell and they're fighting and scrapping and they find their way to the Final Four, where this year is the opposite, okay? They are the big dog. They are not the surprise story, and it's a lot of pressure, but for them it is very much that crazy kind of national championship or bust sort of bar and mentality. So I can't wait to watch the Tigers try to fight to get this thing done here down the stretch over the next couple of weeks. But shout out LSU Gymnastics closing out what was a fantastic regular season, undefeated at home in 2024, another 198, just putting on a show, and again 3 sellouts in a row at the PMAC. LSU softball over the weekend, good as well. But first, I want to tell you about the MMR company. Okay, the MMR Group is the largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the entire country, and they are headquartered right here in Baton Rouge. Okay, now they got offices all over the globe. So if you're looking to ignite your career and you want to join a dynamic culture, you want to take advantage of outstanding benefits, and I'm talking to everyone here. Okay, if you're a student listening, hell yeah, what's that, dude? How's school? Pretty chill, huh? Okay, well, check it out. You call up MMR, they can tell you the exact kind of pathways that you can go to get in the internship program, what that looks like. And when I tell you you're going to go all over the world, adventures, it's cool. But it's not just students, okay? If you're a seasoned pro or you're just starting out, there are a variety of positions available for you. So explore it, okay? Join our friends over there at MMR. You can apply at mmrgrp.com. That's mmrgrp.com. And I really can't stress to you enough how impressive this place is. I mean, even just the campus here in Baton Rouge is astounding. Full-on basketball courts, multiple gyms. It is crazy. Apply now, mmrgrp.com.
T, I know we have to take a break, but speaking of football camp, and I know this will never happen, getting you to Shreveport's impossible, but just 1 year, you have to promise me that you'll show up.
I will do 1 year. I will do 1 year.
In high socks, with two snap coaching shorts and a tight shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that 1,000%. I thought you were gonna say like too baggy of shorts, like go like full old style. Oh no, I'll wear some short coach shorts and a tight shirt and a whistle. Like that's absolutely how I want to do it.
I want to get you and I want to get Blackwell in there.
Hell yes.
I want to get some North Louisiana guys in there as well. I'm considering you North Louisiana right now because you spend more time at the Lake Bob in the summertime.
I'm supposed to. What days can I'm thinking I'm supposed to go to a wedding in Monroe this weekend.
I mean, it's Saturday morning. I'm just saying.
I think the wedding's Saturday morning.
There ain't no wedding Saturday morning.
I know it's crazy, dude. I've never heard it Saturday morning, dude. I don't know.
You think you know people. I've even got
Saturday morning.
I've even got Flynn to make it out of the 16 years. He's made it like 4 years.
They're tying the knot at like 10 a.m. I've never seen anything like that.
Had Devin White come. Terrace Marshall.
Look, but if you want to get the real celebs, you got to pay up, dude.
Greedy Williams.
That's good company.
Can't get T-Bob Abrams there, though.
All right, when we get back, Ask the Bench. Cold Coors Light, Vizio Tilted Blooming Lights got this week.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. On Airline Goodwood. Very conveniently located, very easy to get to. Okay? Great selection of vehicles right there on site, both new and your Toyota certified used vehicles. You can also order from All-Star Toyota Express. Like, you can order a custom vehicle right there online. If you want to join me, I swear I've seen a lot more murdered out minis the last couple months. Maybe it's like a self-confirmation thing where I'm just on the lookout for them more, but I see the gang growing by the day. So if you want to be in the MVG, you already know where to go. But how about the service center? All makes and models welcome. $100 towards your deductible. You mentioned OTB. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, we're all coming up on spring break as well. So if you're not looking to buy new, maybe you're not looking to lease, but check out the rentals. Because you'll go to that rental department, everything is available. If you need something bigger for spring break, better on gas mileage, whatever it might be, per day rental prices, check those out. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade, time to slip away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Corbin Jacob says the pitching is better than what we saw in Starkville. Yeah, look, man. It's the first weekend, and so we opened the show talking about coexisting truths. ton of time and room to get better. The team is not as bad as it looked this weekend. But unfortunately, you also cannot pretend like the ceiling feels nearly as high as it did either. You're going to tinker, you're going to figure it out. And again, it is a small sample size, so things could, like if you go and you sweep Florida or something, well, it's obviously going to feel dramatically different than just a week later. And going to the dude's tough to open up. No SEC team winning on the road. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus. Wait. Ask the Bench, you get a sub for Miss Frizzle one day and you have all of her powers. What's your episode of Magic School Bus about? Oof.
I don't know.
I don't know this world well enough to give you anything.
That's such a random,
we would go
specific question.
We do like another inside the body type deal, only it would be all about vasectomies and traveling down the vas deferens and learning to shut it off. You don't have kids. Or just do like a full sex ed episode of Miss Frizzle.
Why are you, what?
Can you go to space?
They go to space. They've already been to space.
Yeah, I'd go to space.
Yeah, going to space seems great.
Yeah.
On the ISS.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. That could be fun. Little ISS episode.
Yeah.
Little ASS episode. Ask the Bench. Do you like Sloppy Joe sandwiches?
Hell yeah.
Freaking love
Yep.
Sloppy
Yes.
Joe sandwiches, dog.
This
100%.
America?
Oh
Right.
my God. Throw a piece of cheese on it too.
I don't put cheese on
I
it.
do the shredded
Dude,
cheese.
throw
Put a
any
little
type of
mustard
whatever.
on mine.
Any type of melted cheese, mustard. It's all damn good, bruh. Rivers, you talking about
Love
baseball?
Sloppy Joes.
Screw you, Rivers.
Yeah, someone block her in the chat.
Block her in the chat. Ask the Bench, is Nate Yeski, Bo Pelini? Relax,
Stop.
guys. Relax.
I won't take
Relax.
Nate Yeski slander.
What about Yatnoski?
Yeah, he's
You
fair
just
game.
gave people ammo.
He's fair game, yeah.
Ask the Bench, if OTB did a charitable fundraiser, what would the charity be for? I mean, I do a lot of work for Dreams Come True. Which, again, y'all, go to the website, go bid, support Louisiana kids' dreams coming true. We can play golf together next Monday. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'll keep telling you about it all week long.
I do. We have our foundation for my family. And we do a lot of youth sports for those that can't buy equipment, send them gloves, hats, bats, whatever.
Badass.
Love.
I was not aware Miss Frizzle taught first grade. That feels even too young for my inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, fifth grade wasn't much better. I thought that's what it was. Something like that. The quantum realm. I would go down. Yeah, somebody said the molecular
that's a
world. Like
good- that's
doing
a-
like a quantum physics episode would
Yeah.
be very cool.
Be the cat in Schrodinger's experiment.
Yes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench, favorite type of boat, boat, party barge, ski boat, bass boat, et cetera, et cetera.
Give me a party boat all day.
It's hard to beat a good party barge. Like not fun for tubing and stuff, but just fun for everybody.
Fun for everybody else. So typically you'll have like some kind of a small slide on it, which a lot of kids enjoy.
Honestly, I enjoy a nice little pontoon too.
I was gonna say pontoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry,
Like a
that's what I mean.
wakeboard
That's what
boat
it
is
is.
also
I say
a mini party barge.
That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean.
anything.
I mean a
Yeah,
pontoon
yeah,
boat
yeah.
is what I'm getting
Well,
at.
it's called party. I mean,
On
same
the
thing.
pond.
Yeah.
Like a wakeboard boat is awesome, but one, they're really expensive. There's a lot of upkeep, and you can't do maybe as much if you want to host a lot of people.
Yeah, like the badass wake boats, you have to be Jeff Bezos basically to own them. They're like $500,000. I feel like. Ask the Bench, which SEC school is the worst to lose to?
Texas A&M.
Florida.
Yeah, A&M, 100%.
Florida.
A&M for sure.
Florida.
A&M.
Florida. That's
can't
why
wait to say it.
Florida's
can't
also
happen this
fair,
weekend.
but
A&M's bad.
A&M. Yeah.
What cologne/perfume's y'all's favorite?
Ooh,
Michael Jordan,
I'm
baby.
gatekeeping mine.
Michael Jordan?
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
You don't remember the Michael Jordan cologne?
I had Abercrombie Fierce growing up.
I mean, yeah.
I think is what I had.
Again, this is America, so yeah.
Trash Rangers. Speaking of America, what's more American than choice, guys? I get to choose where I take my business. Well, unfortunately, some of us who don't live in Ascension or Livingston Parish, we don't have a choice. And we're stuck under the heel of national BS oppression. Whereas if you live in Ascension or Livingston, you get to choose who handles your trash. You want to go Trash Rangers, the red cans, the red trucks, you see them all around town. And the reason why so many people are making the switch is because it's just a next level efficiency, reliability, customer service, texting you the night before they come so you never forget to put out your trash again. You go to trashsignup.com and in 3 minutes, select your number of cans. You see the days, you see the prices. And unlike all these other companies, the trash and the profits stay here in Louisiana. Trash Rangers.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time.